Yeah.
Like, why the intro is gonna be the worst part, and then everything else is gonna be like
It'll be easy. The
easy.
show's gonna be the worst.
All right, all right. Hey everybody, it's Luca. Gonna start my new journey on podcasting. This is episode one, and hopefully it can lead to a job at Barstool Sports after some harassment to Dave Portnoy. Don't have a name for it yet. Don't have a name for it yet, but think we're eventually gonna call it the Bleed Blue Podcast about the Leafs. Just to give some background, I'm a big Leaf fan. Like you can see all around me, there's a helmet there. There's some helmets up there on the I wear helmets to Leaf games. Big fan, big fan. Nick knows. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Looking to start my journey podcasting and starting Barstool Canada. Hopefully, get recognized by Dave Portnoy. I will be harassing him and the Barstool team. Yeah, so this is my friend Nick. He definitely doesn't bleed blue, but you can give a little
I
intro
think,
if you like.
yeah, okay. I wouldn't go that far. As you said, name's Nick. I'm a Red Wings guy. Have been my whole life. Not to say I hate the Leafs. Definitely a big Leafs fan. Will always love the Leafs unless they're playing Detroit. So one time I will always go for Detroit is if they're facing the Leafs.
Actually,
But
at heart, you're a Leaf fan. You're a Leaf fan at heart. You just
I mean,
you're a kid.
look,
Leafs were shit. You had
we're
to make a decision at the time. Now I know you're a Leaf fan.
hey, but when I grew up watching hockey, it was guys like Zetterberg and Datsuk that got me into the sport. So and I'd never want to switch teams. So
I had
if you're asking me, who's your favorite player in the league, it's William Nylander and Elias Pettersson.
of course, Lee
So
Styles.
definitely got still some Swedish, but definitely Leafs players are up there for me. Um, love watching them, and to be honest, Red Wings have been pretty bad for a while now, up until the last year. So yeah, I do love the Leafs,
This guy loves
but
Sweden more than Canada. He's a big Sweden guy. Big Sweden guy.
I that is true. I did tell Lindholm at the All-Star weekend. I hope he brings gold home to Sweden, not to Canada.
Fucking guy. At least you had when you were a kid you had somebody. I had John Michael Lyles. He was the best Leaf at one point. That was my childhood watching Saturday nights with John Michael Lyles and the Leafs losing every weekend.
So So when you got to watch the Leafs lose, I got to see
These
Nicholas
cups.
Lidstrom lift a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So there's
It,
differences.
it, it got better eventually. I had Phil, big one, hot dog Phil on the team. Big fan. I have a huge thing on my wall. If we were in my room, I would show everybody. But I have literally a 6 foot poster of Phil Kessel still on my wall beside my bed. That guy was my hero. And then I hated him at a certain point, just because that's how Leaf fans are. They love their players, and then they hate them. But now I love him. I want him to come back, but he's apparently off to Vancouver. So I hope the Leafs bring him back. Well, this guy we need to win a cup with us.
Oh,
That's what happens. These guys
oh,
leave. Phil leaves, goes to Pittsburgh. 2 cups.
it's gonna happen. They're gonna bring back Bozak and Kessel. They've got the Stanley Cup.
JVR, get
Um,
him off of Boston. Get JVR out of Boston.
they've all had history of winning cups, and now they're gonna come back to Toronto and win it here.
That's hey that you know who I want to see the most back home is Nazim the Dream, Nazem Kadri. Get
Ah,
this man back in the Leaf jersey.
I don't like him.
What? Because of the suspensions? Why?
I just I think he's overhyped.
I
I think he's a solid player, but he lacks a lot of discipline. And for a
that's
player
fair.
of his skill caliber, a guy who doesn't have discipline can't be on your team to win a cup.
That's fair. The only thing about him is that guy. Like one thing he brought, and sometimes like especially at the start, the Leafs didn't have was heart. That guy, like that guy had heart. He would have been good to keep around just to
There's
to show
there's
like
a difference. The only thing is there's a difference between heart and just a lack of discipline. Like a guy like
that's
Marchand in the playoffs, he has heart. That guy will find ways to get under your
he's lack of
skin
discipline too.
and
This guy
help his
has more
team win.
suspensions
Yeah, but
than guys have.
but he's not making stupid hits in important games and
Listen,
important
listen.
series. That's
That
all I'm
series,
saying.
that series, the final straw that broke the camel's back and got Kadri out of Toronto. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm a big bias Leaf fan. Like I'll admit, but he didn't deserve to he didn't deserve to get suspended for that. DeBrusque was just at fault. Like they just caught him on the retaliations. Like literally across, the cross check to the face has been haunting the Leafs the last I don't know how many years, but freaking cross
You
checks to
got
the
it,
face.
but it's with every Toronto sport. You know,
That's true. You got to
coaches
deal with it.
have to tell you. You know, you look at the Raptors for example.
Yeah,
Always miss calls. Look at the Leafs. Morgan Riley gets 5 games for
that was
that.
ridiculous.
That
That was ridiculous.
Leafs are
And it was
always going to be
upheld.
under. Yeah,
After
Leafs are
after four
always going to
games,
be
after
under
he's
the
already missed
spotlight.
what 3 games, he upheld it. Like okay, at that point,
Yeah,
yeah, like, 2 more games are on a win streak, whatever. But it's ridiculous.
yeah. Like
It,
the when you're on the Leafs or in any Toronto sport, you're
yeah,
kind of held to a standard that's different than any other team.
you
You
did
know,
bring
you
up a
have to
good
have
point
that
there.
discipline.
Like the Raptors had to, when they won that year, they had to deal with all the shitty reffing, the shitty calls. That's just how it is. Every freaking interview with Nick Nurse was like, "Yeah, calls weren't good tonight. It is what it is. Like we got to deal with it. They got to play to that."
Yeah.
I guess it's true, but I don't know, man. It's just there's not just one. It's not like the Leafs are the only Canadian team in the NHL though. There's like a bunch. I don't see why they're discriminating against my team all the time. Like what's the
Hey,
Toronto
there's
discrimination for?
there's no worse call though in history
Oh
than
God, don't bring it
your
up.
Kansas City Chiefs and
Oh,
Philadelphia Eagles holding call.
I thought I thought you were gonna bring up the Gilmore High stick.
No. Oh, that one was bad
That's
too.
where I thought that was going. I was like, don't bring up. I mean, I wasn't even alive for that, but just knowing
No,
like what
but
happened, the tears my dad had to shed from that call.
I'm I'm a big Juju guy. I'm a Steelers fan. I love Juju.
You're happy
But
when he
I'm
won, right?
sorry. I was very happy
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
won.
yeah. Come on.
But that Bradbury holding call was awful.
Okay,
But I will say Chiefs probably still win that game.
I don't
And
think that was a big factor. The Chiefs were pretty dominant.
yeah, I mean, look at what they just did this year.
Yeah, and this year, like we can't like honestly, I get it.
They shouldn't have won.
The Chiefs had like there's always like every time they win the games, there's always people saying, "Oh, Chiefs like whatever team they play versus refs." Da, 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 da. The Super Bowl was pretty fair called, I would say. There was some
It was
shit calls
very
against the
fair.
Chiefs, and there was some shit calls against the Niners, and it was pretty fair even like the other games, like the other like the Chiefs. Look at who they had to go against. Hold on, before we go anywhere.
They oh
I have to pull it up
yeah,
here.
no, statistically they had what? The hardest road to a Super
Come on,
Bowl in
they
history.
had to beat. Okay, honestly, the Dolphins.
Um,
I don't know what to think about the Dolphins. Like they
Tua is not him.
I,
Tua is not him.
I think he is. It's just their offense is so great, but when it comes to games that matter, they're like my team. They're like this team here. Like when it comes to games that
No,
matter, they're
no.
just
If we're
I think
talking
the
about
Leafs
it,
are a little bit better than the
Dallas,
Dolphins are.
Dallas Cowboys are the Toronto Maple Leafs of football.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know, man. Like not Montreal. Why am I talking about the Habs? But Miami Dolphins, when it comes to like a big game, they're just not there. And okay, that one amazing regular season. Yeah, they didn't really beat what they beat one team over 500, and what was that? The Cowboys that you're just talking about. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
that
that was how it went down. But okay, that wasn't easy. But then they had to beat what? The Bills. They had to beat the Ravens, and they had to beat the Niners. Like,
three
and all
top
three of those
teams.
games, they were the underdogs. And yeah, the
Don't
lines were close, but
don't don't put Mahomes as an
yeah,
underdog.
you just
He's never an underdog. I don't care who he has in front of him. Mahomes, as long as he has Kelsey there, who again wasn't that
Kelsey.
impactful in the first little bit of that Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. He was impactful. He was very impactful in the Bills game. He was very impactful in the Ravens game. Super Bowl.
But
I have a
the
theory
story
about that.
was the story was the underdogs. You know, his
Yeah, 3 games in
receivers
a row.
and Pacheco who just they stepped up. Although you knew that game or that play, what did they gain like
Which one?
22 yards? When they got into the 10-yard line with like the 9 seconds when they had the shot into the end zone
Was this
and they
was
went
that
to
on the
Kelsey.
overtime?
Yeah, no. In the regulation, when Mahomes had to lead him down the field and they got to the 10-yard line with the Mahomes to Kelsey,
Yeah. When he the
you
controversial.
knew that play was going to Kelsey.
Which one? Wait, but it didn't go to
It was
Kelsey.
was it third? It did.
Oh, he had one. Okay, he had one target though in the red zone
Yeah,
all game, which is a little.
yeah,
And how many times were they in the red zone?
too
I
much.
have a big theory about that. Well, we could I'll
What's your
explain it
theory?
later, but
Okay,
I
I
mean
don't know.
we're
I
we're in the Super Bowl talk. We might as well keep up with it. But my theory, yeah, like the refs, I think if before that game, I hear more bets were on Travis Kelce get a touchdown than money line on Chiefs and money line on San Fran, and I'm like, this is scary. This is very scary. Even like it's
You
just you
had to
hear
stay
that
away.
and you got to
It was
think
always so worry.
like does Vegas have something like is in my head the first thing I think, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but when I saw that line I was like I'm kind of regretting the $50 I put on the Kelsey touchdown because if I know Vegas they're not gonna let Kelsey get a touchdown, and I don't know like you know how much money they would have lost. More people were betting a Kelsey touchdown than a San Fran and Chiefs touchdown. And literally all Super Bowl, you could ask everyone I was watching with. I was screaming and saying, "Man, Andy Reid's kids were being held hostage the whole night by Vegas." Because
Yeah.
why are you taking him? Why are you taking him off? Why are you in the red zone and you don't have Kelsey? Like even he doesn't have to be a receiver. Why isn't he
You see
blocking
him.
for you in a running play?
You see. You see him go up to Reed and push him and yell
Yeah,
at him.
yeah. Like okay, there that clip did bring up a lot of definitely did bring up a lot of controversy. What do you think of the Kelsey
Emotions
comment?
happen, and I think when you're the guy who's been around the league as long as Kelsey, who's established as Kelsey, and is loved within the organization, and has that relationship with Reed, I think it was
Yeah,
blown out of
100%,
proportion.
100%.
Um, Emotion. It's a Super Bowl. You know, if that happens in week one, yeah, you got to discipline Kelsey. But it's a Super Bowl. He's heated. He really wants to win. He's gonna go at it. And you know what? Fair play to Kelsey because that shows how much he wants it.
I look at it as like they have a kind of a father son relationship. If you think
Yeah.
about it, like I don't know, if my dad used to be my coach, like if I was pissed, I mean I never really I played hockey. You can't really shove your coach on the bench. There's a bench in between you, but I mean, I would get pretty heated with my dad too at times. Like he's my dad, right? But I don't know.
Yeah.
You think of Kelsey and you think of Reed, and like they've been playing together like for such a long time. They have that relationship where I feel like people are just blowing out the proportion. Like they're not in their shoes. They're not in that situation. Like they shouldn't really. When people were my mom was one of them. Like we were at the dinner table and she's like, "Oh, do you see like Kelsey shoving Reed? Like he shouldn't be doing that." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know, like everyone's like freaking out about this. Like you don't know the relationship they have. They're like father and son. Like that's
Yeah.
like Reed's favorite player, and everyone has said it. Like there was a clip of Mahomes. There was a clip of I think it was Chris Jones, or I think it was Snead maybe. I can't remember who else, but they're like, who's Reed's favorite player, and all of them said Kelsey. Who's that one player that can get away with anything they want, and everyone said Kelsey. Like you can't get mad at that guy. Like when that guy's that
No.
consistently scoring you touchdowns and giving you big plays, how can you be mad at him? Like if it was freaking Kadarius Toney pushing Andy Reid, I would say Andy Reid suplex that guy who scored.
Bobby. I think it was
Was
Bobby.
it McMahon? I missed it.
I think it was. Oh, just to preface, we do have the Leafs game on in the
We do the Leafs
background,
come on
and it
background.
was
Okay,
Bobby.
I
It
wanted to
was
take a
Bob.
punch.
That was beautiful.
Let's. Should we just? You want to revert back to the Super Bowl? Talking about this right now?
Yeah, 1 second. Let's just look at this goal. Like I want you to see
I
this.
think I'm
This
ahead of
was
you. I
beautiful.
already missed it, but
Oh, okay. You've seen the replay?
yeah. But McMahon,
Oh my. Okay,
me and
we
Nick.
can. We'll discuss it. We'll we'll bring this back up, but just know he's the man. He is
That
the man,
McMahon is the man.
and
Bobby
that
McMahon.
guy has been on a tear recently. But that is something we will discuss in
We'll
a bit.
discuss it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Let's.
We'll get to it. Let's all right.
Let's-
So that's
Wait,
unbelievable.
I missed it, bro.
Oh,
I missed it. I missed the whole
bro,
goal. Honestly,
you saw the replay though, right?
no, I missed it.
Oh,
What minute are you?
it
I'm
was
on
just
16:51 on my TV.
oh my God. Okay, I am so far behind.
I
Oh,
missed it. I was so
okay, that's
concentrated.
why.
Concentrating.
That's why. I have it. Why is this so delayed? Okay, I'm not caught
I'm on
up.
the power play
Okay,
right now.
there we go. Yeah, now I'm back caught up with you. But it was Brody like shot past from the point. McMahon just tipped it on the side of
That
the net.
guy. I have a theory on why he's on a tear. We'll get to it. But that
Yeah,
guy,
we'll get to that.
he like I don't see how Keith can keep him out of the lineup anymore. Like this guy earned his. Honestly, in my opinion, I think he eventually, if he keeps going on this role, first line, put him with Matthews and
I
Neely.
mean,
Matthews and Marner. He's a
they've
grinder.
tried it out. They tried it out last game, right? And it was
Uh, it was
was it
very
last game or
very
2 games
few,
ago?
very few,
Yeah,
like very few. Like
but I'm okay.
oh my god, oh my god, Marner almost just got robbed. Twice.
Yeah.
And Matthews just fanned the
Oh,
entire freaking.
oh,
Matthews just fanned the shot of his career.
yeah. You don't
Is it
see
because
that.
the
It's you
Vito
know
put
what?
money on
It's
him? I don't know.
he's got his whole family. This whole stadium is Austin
Oh yeah.
Matthews and Matthew Nye's family.
Oh yeah. This is the
Oh,
and
we
that
should
stadium
actually
isn't
see.
very big either.
Are there more Coyotes fans or are there more family members of Matthews and
The
Nyes
seats
here?
are empty right now. I think it's they literally bought out the entire stadium. Friends and
Well,
family of
then
Matthew Nyes and Matthews at the game.
Nyes says he has about 60 family members there, so he can fit
And
a whole
I
section.
think I think he literally I think there was a clip where there was like that was pretty much like
Yeah.
20% of the stadium or something like that. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, okay. We'll go back to the
All
Super
right, let's
Bowl.
let's go. Oh, big
Oh,
Robbie goal,
what?
big Robbie goal.
All right, the boys are stepping up. Hey, you know what? Just before we move on, this is the first year in a while that the Leafs are getting secondary scoring the way they are.
Honestly, I would disagree a little bit because like last year, you got to look at last year. Matthews only had what 40. Yeah, I think it was 40 goals, 41.
Yeah.
I
He
don't
was
know the
hurt.
exact number. I should know the exact number. I'm a big Matthews beat writer, but I think it was 40 goals. A lot of guys had to step up. You had David Camp. You had like a lot of the Ryan O'Reilly had a few good games towards the end of the season,
Oh,
but
I think we're getting a challenge.
offside. Guys, might have been a bad idea to shoot
Yeah.
a podcast during a Leaf game, but hey, it makes it entertaining. It's making it
Hey,
entertaining. This is Bleep Blue
it's gonna be a
podcast.
Bleak Blue
It's
podcast. This
going
is
to be
what you're
called the
gonna
Bleep
get.
Blue podcast. Hey, Portnoy, you want this?
All right, but so what were we discussing?
Super Bowl,
Kel,
Travis
Kel,
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Kelsey,
Yeah,
Kelsey versus Reed.
I think it's you look at Reed's reaction. When he's like literally on top of Chris Jones, right? They were
Yeah.
just hugging. Like
Yeah.
you see the excitement.
He
And it's a
loves those
dynasty.
guys, and they love him. Like, I think Kelsey even said if I was speculating that Kelsey was going to retire after this game, and I'm so thankful he didn't because to him winning a three-peat means the most. So I feel like if they don't win the
Yeah.
three-peat next year, he's gone. But as long as they keep winning, if they keep winning, I think we keep Kelsey a little longer. But he said if Reed isn't his coach, he's done. He's not playing for another coach other than Andy Reid, and that speaks volumes. Like you look at Brady, after a while, he wanted out of Pats. He wanted to try something new. I don't think Brady and Belichick had the type of relationship that Andy Reid does with his Chiefs players. And that's
No,
no diss on Bill Belichick. He is the best coach of
it's
all
his
time.
style.
It's just you
That's
look
how
at
he
him
is.
like I don't think Bill Belichick would let any one of his players bulldozer him in a Super Bowl game. If Gronk went up to Bill Belichick and was like, "Wow," like freaking body checking him or whatever, like because he didn't get played, I think Bill Belichick would have him out the door the next day.
Yeah.
It's like maybe I'm over exaggerating. Gronk can maybe do that. Gronk was like when he's the best tight end. Kelsey's makes a push for that title, but I don't know. I don't think Belichick had that relationship that Andy Reid does, and it speaks volumes. Like those guys literally go to war for Reid. They love him. He loves them back. Like you don't see a coach jumping on top of their linemen or accepting one of their players pushing them. They just have that relationship. I don't know. Have you ever seen the clip of Kelsey being drafted? I think they had a
Oh,
documentary made about them. I think it was like last year, a few years ago.
is
Where
it the one where he had Jason on the phone?
yeah. And
Yeah.
he called like Andy Reid calls him, and the first thing he says to him, he already taken that kind of dad stance was like, "Are you gonna fuck this opportunity up?" Basically, who imagine you're like getting drafted, and then the coach like that's what the coach says to you. It's just I think Andy Reid. Oh my god. Oh, was
Was
it
it
Poppy? It was
was
Poppy.
it 50? Is that 50?
That is 50. Guys, we saw
That
you
is
live.
50.
50 goals by Poppy.
Let's go.
I need to see this,
Let's
guys. We're
go.
gonna take a little break. I need to see
We're
this
gonna,
goal.
we're
I need to see this
gonna
goal.
see this goal.
I bet it. I bet it. I'll show you guys my parlay when we get to there. Poppy hitting 50 live on podcast, the Blue Blue podcast, first episode.
You couldn't write it better.
Holy shit! Let's look at this. Probably what is snipe? Oh,
No. It went off
no
his skate.
chance.
Oh,
It was a snipe. It was a snipe. I mean, goalie.
I thought it went off his skate, but he just shot it
Uh,
short side.
goalie should have had that, but hey, that's 50 for Poppy.
Oh,
And wait,
look at his
what better
family's
stadium,
reaction.
what better place to do it than in Arizona?
You know what? He waited. He waited. He could have had a last game. He's like, no, I'll get it. I'll
I
get it in
honestly,
hometown.
I don't, I kind of agree. He probably did wait, and he that like I've been focusing on this, but watching a bit of it, he's been taking his chances. He wanted it tonight. Hey,
Speaking
Poppy hat trick.
speaking
I
of
think he's a
great
nice.
leads, speaking of Swedes, Liljegren 2 assists tonight. That's all I'm gonna
I think. Can I give you my honest
say.
opinion, buddy? I think Lilligren is on his way out of Toronto very soon.
No, no, no.
I don't know the
If there
speculations.
if there's the only issue is who are the least right-handed defensemen? You can't be the
Here,
one to go.
here's where I the speculations are. They're going for Matt Dumba apparently, and
I've heard it's Tanev.
I've heard it's ten. Like this is the speculation that I've heard today. They're going to trade a second. They're going to trade a first round pick for Dumba. Get Dumba and a second round from Arizona, and then trade the second round pick for Tanev.
Supposedly, Calgary's holding out for a first for Tanev, from what I've read.
Hmm.
Should we just skip the football for now and just because we wanted to talk about our predictions, right?
Yeah, we could go back to football. Let's keep this going on for a bit, and we'll come back to this too.
Okay.
This is gonna just be a disgruntled episode. Hey, it's our first. It's our first episode. It's my first episode. I don't know what I'm
Bear
doing.
with us.
Ignore this. Ignore this. You're gonna love us. Okay.
You got two of us in a room. It's gonna get dysfunctional when it comes to sports
You
stuff.
wait till Leafs playoffs and you see the videos of me with this helmet, and you're gonna tell me you don't want me in Barstool.
Maybe one day you fans will get lucky enough to see Lucas crying pictures.
Yeah, one day they'll be lucky enough. Maybe they'll see it live when the Leafs win the second round.
Yeah.
when I get to see something else I've never seen in my life before, a second round win.
Oh.
Because I've seen the first just last year. Tears cried. They balled on national television.
Oh.
Okay,
Did he fanned on it? Okay, so Dynasty Chiefs, yes. The question is now, okay, Samsonov. Anyways, Dynasty Chiefs, do you think they go back to back?
Back to back.
Or no,
you mean?
repeat. Yeah, back to back, sorry.
Here's my prediction for next year. I think based off of schedules, right? You know how the schedules work. They give you I think you get 6 games. Is it 6 games on the same position that you are in your division? I was looking. It's a weird, dude. I don't understand this football, how the football schedules work. But I know whatever position you finish in your division, you play a lot of teams in that same bracket. Like you play the same. You play the whole division. You're gonna play no matter what. You're gonna play teams that's finished first in the division. You're gonna play teams that finish last. But depending on your position, you're gonna be playing them the teams in your position the most. So you look at a team like Cincinnati this year, with no Joe Burrow, they finished last. Okay. In the AFC North.
And still above 500.
Sorry, and
they still finished above 500.
But they were last. So now,
that division was so difficult, and it continues to get more difficult.
It's gonna next year. It's gonna be even more difficult because you get a healthy Joe Burrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It's looking that way.
And you get the Steelers with an actual quarterback.
Who's gonna be their quarterback?
There's rumors that it's Fields. There's rumors it's Wilson. There's rumors it's Garoppolo. All that's known is they will be bringing someone in. Yeah, Tomlin just said, "I'm bringing someone in."
That division is going to be insane. Best division in the football, I
think. I don't see it being Fields, to be honest. Just because
I think the Bears stick to Fields. I think that first round pick is being traded.
I think Fields is gone, but
people can say that. Like he didn't follow the Bears, but he didn't clear that up today. Who knows?
I think if you're going with the Steelers, you're gonna have Rudolph, Pickett, and whoever you bring compete for the starting job. If you bring in Fields, there's no competition. Fields is the number one guy. So then you have to move Rudolph. Yeah, I hope it's Fields. I do love Kenny Pickett. He's a Pittsburgh boy.
Yeah, I think he just needs time to develop, and I think he's going to turn out. But as the AFC, I don't think Fields would turn out in the not that he won't turn out. It's just how is he going to win anything? And in that division A, you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, and you've got the Browns who are looking good. Their just defense is insane, and who knows what's going to happen with Joe Flacco. He might stay for a bit. He definitely earned himself another year on that team. Actually, who knows?
Yeah,
Watson,
who knows?
Who knows? This whole thing is a turn up. But then
that's the thing.
Not only that, you gotta deal with Mahomes. You gotta deal with Josh Allen. You gotta deal with Tua, Herbert with a new coach. Like it's just. I don't know if Fields would just have a great time in the AFC, but
So we'll give you the early on predictions for next season, and then in a future episode after draft free agency, you'll get an updated one of what kind of happens.
All right.
So what are you thinking for this season?
Okay. My prediction, just based off of the easiness of schedules, I got the Bengals finishing first, winning the AFC. I think
Okay.
I think it's gonna be tough, but like just based on schedules, the Bengals are an amazing team. They dealt with injuries last year, and they still finished above 500 with Jake Browning, right? It was Browning as their
Yeah.
quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't see how they don't do well with Joe Joe Burr as their quarterback next year, and I think they win the AFC. Do I think they win the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I don't even think they win the AFC championship, but I do think in the regular season they'll win the AFC and they'll get the first round bye. Well, I don't know what are your thoughts?
My only issue is they're gonna lose Tyler Boyd.
I think that's okay. They still got
I
Higgins
don't.
and they still got Jamar Chase, and there's rumors. Look, there's a lot of free agents though that are wide receivers. You got Evans as a free agent. Well, Tyler Boyd's a free agent. There's a,
But question:
yeah.
Chase is your deep threat, right?
Higgins is your slot. He's also a deep threat too.
But Higgins is a deep threat, and he's really big. Like he's the guy who you want on jump ball.
Who, Higgins or Chase?
Higgins.
Yeah, he's a good deep ball threat.
Okay. Now who's that 5 yard guy who's gonna run that quick slam for you? Get you those dirty yards. That was Tyler
That was
Boyd.
Boyd, yeah. But they can always restructure their offense. They can grab another slot receiver. They
You
those are not that
can.
hard to find.
I don't know. I
It
don't
would
know.
be a big
I'm
loss, 100%. But I don't think that's gonna. And I don't even think they lose Tyler Boyd. I think they figure out a way to bring him back.
There's no way. Especially if they're franchise tagging T. Higgins, there's no way you can afford Boyd. And Boyd deserves his money now.
Yeah, he does. He does. He showed this year. I mean, he kind of was in a great situation a little bit. Like Chase went down, missed a lot of games. Higgins missed some games, so he did have an opportunity to prove himself. But I don't think that's
But
gonna, based off of their schedule. I don't think just missing Boyd is gonna stop them from winning the AFC.
I see, yeah. I'm a little biased because I like players like Boyd. I like
And
those
you're a
guys who
Steelers
are going to
fan.
get you those 5 yards. And I'm a Steelers fan, so I want nothing good for the Bengals.
Yeah,
Um, but if I'm looking best team in the AFC, hard to go against the Chiefs,
they're
obviously.
my team. Like you
But I
said
don't
that.
think they'll.
But
I don't think they'll get one. I do think the Chargers are going to win that division.
oh, what? What?
Yeah, you're giving Herbert a great coach.
Yeah, but
Harbaugh's there.
I feel like the Chiefs like their
Come on.
defense is
If you
amazing,
look,
and I think
if
they're
you
gonna
look at the
upgrade.
Chargers. The Chargers won games with just Herbert. They had no receivers, and Herbert found ways to win. What? Would they win? How many games? Five, six?
I think so, but
Oh shit!
I mean their coach is shit. I don't think it's Herbert's fault they lost any of those games. I think he's definitely an outstanding quarterback. I think this year though will answer that question. It will answer like
5-12.
if they don't have a good year this year, I think now you start putting a little bit of the blame on Herbert. I think he's had a few years, like he's shown himself like that.
But when
Brandon
has he
Staley's been
had like
great.
a healthy team?
Sorry.
He's never had a healthy team. He
Yeah,
just
you're right.
doesn't
You're
get a
right, and
healthy
he's
team.
never really been fully healthy either. So it's, I mean,
I
last year
find
he's dealing with that finger injury. He's dealing with other injuries. Um,
I move
I just don't.
Eckler.
I
That's
don't. I
one
don't think
thing I
they.
think the
I don't
Chargers
see how you
need to
beat
do.
that. I don't see how you can beat that Chiefs team, at least for the division.
I don't. But you look at last year. Like Chiefs started
You're
slow.
right. You're
Did they
right.
not?
No, you're right.
The Chiefs did start slow, right?
Yeah, no, they didn't have a great they didn't have a great regular season. And
Oh no,
honestly, as
they
a
didn't
Chiefs
start
fan,
slow. Never mind. They did not
well,
start slow.
they lost to the
They
Lions, and then a
and
lot of
then
their
they
losses
started
were
winning
on their
games.
shitty receivers that
Yeah.
Cohen,
Oh my god.
Sky Moore, that couldn't catch a ball when game was on the line. Um,
Um,
I think that
I'm
stops
going
this
AF.
year. I think you want to hear my biggest prediction? Mike Evans is going to be a Chief next year.
That'll be unreal if they can get
I
Mike
think Mike
Evans.
Evans is a
That
Chief next year, and I think he'd have. I might sound a little stupid, I think he might have more of an impact on the Chiefs than Tyreek Hill did. He's that type of player. Where I think he like Hill the show was all about Hill. It was a Tyreek Hill show.
I
It
don't
was
I
give me
don't
that
know
deep
if he'll
ball.
get I don't think he'll get the yardage or the recognition he does. But I can see your point. Like I think Mike Evans is
I think
still to this day, even though he puts up what, how many years in a row has he put up 1,000 plus?
I think he's I don't think he's I'm pretty sure it's been like his career.
I
I would
get
have
the
to look that
exact,
up. I don't know the exact number, but it's been at least the last 3-4 seasons, undoubtedly. With
yeah, but
two with Brady for
yeah,
sure.
I think it's more than last. Let me see this.
What I was saying was, in my opinion, Tyreek Hill definitely one of the best wide receivers in the league. One of the best.
Oh,
Amazing.
you would be right. He has not missed
Yeah,
since 2014 when he was drafted into the
he's had
league. He
1,000
has
yards.
not had it. Yeah.
And you know what? You know what he does it? He does it quietly, in a sense. He does it quietly. Like he gets those like this year. He carried my fantasy team hands down. I lost injuries. The Chargers injuries absolutely screwed me. I had Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler. Got screwed,
And
but
he's 30, and he had his third most productive year when it
yeah,
came to
he's
yardage.
not slowing down. I think this is my opinion. Tyreek Hill is very one dimensional. Not one dimensional. He's a great wide receiver. I'm not trying to
Oh, but
shit
he's
on
one of
Tyreek Hill. I love him. The cheetah. He was one of my favorite players. He's still one of my favorite players ever. It's just it was too predictable. The reason they lost that Super Bowl, double team Tyreek, double team Kelsey, and the Chiefs lose. You blitz Mahomes,
ooh.
Chiefs are not winning. But I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
easier said than done.
Yeah,
That Chiefs line's good.
easier said than done. 100%. It's just Mike Evans is so versatile. He's not just a deep ball receiver.
No,
He's a
I'm
slot
with you.
receiver, deep ball receiver. He can catch. He's an amazing route runner. I
I
think he
love
fit
Mike
perfectly.
Evans.
Perfectly.
If he goes to the Chiefs, Chiefs are number one seed without a doubt. I don't disagree. But, if we're talking, looking at rosters now, looking at free agency and kind of what's for sure going to happen,
The Chiefs
Bills
have
are
to sign
going to,
some guys back. They have to bring back Chris
as much
Jones.
as I would love to say the Bills, I think now that they're what? Now it's the time where they actually have to pay Josh Allen the money that he's
Yeah,
actually worth.
yeah.
I
With
think the
cap
Ravens go
space.
back to back. Ravens go number one again.
I could see. Listen,
As boring as it is, they do.
I've always been on the Ravens the last 2 years. I've been saying they've been underperforming and they're really good. And they had their breakout last year. I just yet again they're gonna have to look at because they finished first in that division. They're gonna have to play the Chiefs, the Bills, um, the Texans, and they're gonna have to play first. I don't know who they're gonna be up against in the NFC because I know they play a whole division, but they're gonna be playing
Which team is this for you?
I'm talking about the
Sorry.
Ravens right now. They're gonna be playing a lot of first round seeds, and I just look at the Bengals and they're a type of team that this year could have probably put up a good fight against the Ravens for that number one seed in the AFC. And now you're giving
They
them a
have the
schedule with a bunch of fourth place teams in divisions. I think just on schedule alone, the Bengals have a good chance at winning that AFC
so
and winning that division.
dates obviously haven't been announced for when the
Yeah,
games are,
schedule. Their schedule is
but
out, but not like
yeah.
yeah.
So they're gonna play the Chiefs division.
Who the Ravens?
So they
Or the
yeah.
AFC
So they
North is
obviously have to
playing it. Okay, they're gonna play all those teams.
yeah. So they obviously play the AFC North teams twice each,
Okay.
which always, no matter how
That's
bad
that's
AFC
that's a
North
50.
teams
That's a
are,
toss up no matter what. It doesn't matter that
yeah.
division is just so stone cold. It's a toss up no matter what.
So they play that division. So then they play your Chiefs division. The other teams they have to face non-divisionally, Bucks. So the Buccaneers, Texans, Giants, Bills, Cowboys, Eagles.
They could they could do it. They could do it. I can see it.
It's a very tough
The AFC
schedule.
is the biggest toss up. Okay, the biggest toss up. This is probably one of the best conferences in sports history, in my opinion.
I see. See, I'm with you. I think the whole league is though. I think this is the best state we've ever seen the NFL in a while.
Yeah, I saw TikTok today. It was old quarterbacks. It was Bledsoe, Brett Favre, who was up against each other. They also do a deep ball. It's a deep ball game, and like who are the other quarterbacks? I think Manning was one of them. No, it was Jim Harbaugh. It was Jim Harbaugh, one of them. So okay, and I'm like, now you look at these quarterbacks in the league now. Imagine like Josh Allen, Mahomes.
I think you even got to toss in Stroud into that conversation.
Like
And the
it's
guy's a
obviously it's been
rookie.
1 year, but I mean, I'm the biggest Stroud meat rider. That probably one of the biggest ones on this planet. That guy's insane. Like insane. I think the only problem is, like I said,
Yeah,
all of these
I
quarterbacks
can't
are in one division.
I
One
can't like
conference.
Stroud. I'm not a
Oh
Stroud
yeah,
guy.
I'm a Buckeye, but like that's the only problem. Back in the day, it was Peyton. It was Peyton
Brady.
and Brady, and then there was
You had a little bit of Ben.
yeah,
You
you
had
had
a
a little
little
bit of
bit of
Ben.
Eli.
You had Eli in the NFC. Who else was who was dominant in the NFC at the time? Breeze, Rogers. You have some of these guys still in there, like Rogers and Brady just retired, and you're adding like
Oh,
all
that's
these insane
another team.
quarterbacks in one conference. It's a toss up
The
every year.
Jets.
The Jets,
Now you get
yeah,
the Jets are gonna get Aaron Rodgers now.
that see for me, I think the Jets are gonna have a great season. It's just I don't like who knows like it's hard to tell whenever like there's a new quarterback into a new system. I mean he definitely now he's had like what 2 years kind of to prepare like all of summer last year this whole season
Yeah.
basically on the sidelines he just getting to know like their playing style their calls their coaching I can't see him having a bad season. It's just you just never know, right? But especially in this conference, like they're gonna be what they're in the division with the Bills and the Dolphins. Like I honestly don't know who wins that division. I think
No.
my heart says it's gonna be the Bills. I, I feel bad for the Bills, man, as a Leaf fan. Just the amount of like history just not going their way. But that's exactly why who knows who's gonna win that division, right? It's just
I think Jets.
I don't I can't even disagree with you there. It's just honestly either three of those teams, Dolphins, Bills, or Jets. Third, I think realistically would be the Dolphins. Um, I don't know how choke of the year, choke of the like choke of the century almost.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more exaggeration, but a huge choke on that first seed. The freaking Bills were what 0-5 to start the season, and I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are like 5-0. Like
Yeah, they start even
the Bills had a terrible start to the season. They just made the playoffs on the last day and somehow got the second seed in the AFC. And then you have the Dolphins who've had like all that time with the lead, just blowing it, just blowing that conference. So I realistically to me they finished third, but it's also I can see them winning too. It's just this conference is that it's that insane that it can go
I
literally
think
either way in all
I think
divisions.
that you look at between the AFC North and then that what are they? Sorry, the AFC East. A Leaf just scored again, by the way.
They're on fire. They're on fire. And it was
Um,
Lily Styles, baby.
let's go fantasy
Fucking
points.
Lily
Let's
Styles,
go.
man. This is a tough game to not be
It's
fully like concentrating on, man. Like these guys are.
it's a 2-man
It was a
advantage too.
5-on-3, yeah.
And they
Oh,
still have. Oh,
that was
okay.
Marnes.
Ooh,
That was a
is
nice play
that
by Marnes. What a pass!
that was beautiful by
What a
Marner.
pass by Marnes. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Guy, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. YouTube, wherever this is being uploaded, there will be clips of these goals, for you to see.
Yeah.
Our reactions on these goals. You will see them. But
Oh,
fuck, that was nice. 3-0 in the first. I should have bet the over. Should have bet the
and
over.
to all you Leafs fans who said trade Nylander,
Hey, never came
um,
out of my mouth.
get
Not
out of
once.
here. I know it wasn't you. I
Not
know it wasn't
once.
you. Me and you were big Nylander
Not
guys.
once. He.
Never. He's
I've always
so
defended him
good.
in the playoffs. Like I hate going to the square, and there's fans that just say, "Oh fuck Nylander." I'm like, I've almost gone to fights. Like guys, this guy has been our most productive Leaf in the playoffs the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating. Last year, he had a better playoffs than Matthews did. The year before that, better playoffs than Matthews did, and the year before that, same thing. He consistently scores goals. You need a big goal. I put my money in the playoffs. Nylander gets you that goal. He goes on breakaways. He gets you big plays. Matthews is Matthews. I'm not complaining. Like he had an amazing playoffs last year too, until that Florida series. But all the Leafs kind of shit the bed there, but just Nylander's been consistent. He's always been consistent, and you have guys like Marner kind of goes to sleep in the playoffs. Matthews, some series is asleep, some series is awake. He's kind of a 50-50 each game. Uh, but Nylander's there. And I hate the slander. I hate the slander. The Nylander slander always pisses me off. That's one way to get me riled up is just Nylander slander.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, so you're saying you said Bengals won. I'm saying Ravens.
You're sticking with the Ravens.
Yeah. And then what do you got NFC?
NFC, for me, it's hard not to say the Niners again. It's hard not to say the Niners.
They're gonna lose Young.
They're gonna lose some guys, yeah. Where do you think Chase Young goes?
Steelers can't afford him, but I know there was always rumors about him going to Pittsburgh.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that defense. um, I don't know. That's the toss up is where he goes because
Honestly, though,
I don't think he gets paid that much because I don't think he's done enough to prove that he deserves to be paid that much.
I think he's insane. I think he's a great pass rush. It's just, I mean, it's hard to say he hasn't done much. He's on the Washington Commanders his whole career.
Yeah,
Like,
and then he gets overshadowed by Bosa when he goes to.
Yeah, and that's why I'm gonna say I don't think it's that big of a loss for the Niners. It's because they played more than half the season without Chase Young on their.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a
and
loss either.
They were still. The trade definitely propelled them. I'm not gonna lie. Like that, I don't know how that they definitely won that trade, but it propelled them. But I don't think it's that big of a. Nice is getting a little feisty.
I know, I like it. But
Alessia's probably she's watching the game. Oh my gosh!
How many more years is McCaffrey there?
Ooh, I have to search it up. Let me look this up. Hey Jamie, pull it up. You ever seen the clips where he's always screaming for Jamie to pull up something?
In 2020, he signed a 4-year deal. So.
Oh my! Is he a free agent? I think he has one more year left. No.
One more year.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think
two
he
more.
resigns with the
Wait,
Niners.
no, I think 2 more.
I think he still resigns with the Niners.
He's got 2 more, but he's now making 11.8 and 12 million instead of the one he was making, or 3. Or whoa, okay, no. So his cap hit last year was or this past season was 3.4. It's now going to go to 14 for the next 2 years. It's an $11 million increase to your cap. I'm not saying you cut CMC. There's no way, but you're not.
No. But
there's going to be guys you can't
the Niners
sign.
definitely take a hit. You're right. They're going to lose a lot of guys.
This is the year though they have to win because now this is your last year of Purdy on the rookie deal. Are they getting? Leafs are getting another power play.
Oh my god!
Is it going to be another double?
He's bleeding. Pull it out, Domi.
I don't think he's bleeding.
Pull up the blood. But that's a high stake.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll come back and we'll see when the commercial break is over.
Yeah.
It could be 4, but yeah, like they're gonna. San Fran's definitely gonna take some losses. Is it gonna be enough to stop them from that 1 seed? I don't know. Definitely the Lions are gonna be their number 1 contender in my opinion for that 1 seed.
Really? I didn't think so.
I think so.
I think the Eagles are still going to be there. I think Dallas will still be there.
To me, the Eagles. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Eagles. Never been. I think they're a little bit fraudulent, and I've been calling on the fraud. They had it last year. Part of the reason why they were that 1 seed is part of the reason why.
That easy schedule.
I think the Bengals would take that 1 seed this year. They had an easy schedule. This year they had a tougher schedule, and it kind of showed. Like they had a shitty end to the season, a real shitty end to the season. They were god awful. I mean, now they're gonna have a new defensive coordinator because, I mean, watching that game against the Bucks and none of those guys can make a freaking tackle. Beyond me.
That was bad.
Terrible. And it's not like they had like bad names on their defense. Like they have good names on their defense. It's just I don't know, man.
I'm saying Cowboys 1 seed.
Oh yeah, I've been saying I think Cowboys 1 seed too. The Cowboys are never out of it. They're like the Leafs. They're gonna have a great regular season.
And then they're out of
And
it.
then it's gonna come to playoffs, and they're gonna somehow choke. And I hope one day, for the Leafs' sake, that the Cowboys, just to give me some hope, the Cowboys actually pull through and win the Super Bowl. As long as they're not playing the Chiefs in that Super Bowl. But um, I think you're right. I think the Cowboys win that division. But I honestly, in my opinion, I think the Lions have an amazing coach. People can say what they want to say about him and how he coached the NFC Championship game. Um, what I think he's the type of guy that learns. He builds, he learns. He's gonna come out of that game. He's gonna understand. Listen, sometimes you got to take the risk. He's gonna know, like Andy Reid, when to take a risk and when to play it safe. Um,
I'm not a fan of the call at all, but
oh, me neither. Me
it's
neither.
what got them there.
It is
Them
what got
taking
them there.
risk is how they got there. And had that play worked, no one says anything about it. Everyone says, "Oh, greatest play ever."
I agree.
You know?
But I think he's still gonna keep up that the
Oh,
balls.
rightfully so.
Yeah, he's gonna keep
He
up that
should.
style of play. They play with balls, and I like it. oh, pause. But they no, I think they're gonna have a great regular season. Dan Campbell's a great coach, and I think in the playoffs, he's gonna understand. Like he'll learn from that and understand. Listen, certain games, certain game time decisions, you gotta you got to make a different call. You got to know when to play it safe, and I think he's gonna come out there learning and come out there stronger. I think that whole Lions are just so resilient. They're gonna come out stronger. I think they are gonna be the biggest competitor. But for me, I still think the Niners are just so well built, well put together. And yeah, you might take some building pieces off, some building blocks out of there, but I still think they'll have enough to kind of finish with that one seed.
So who's your Super Bowl then matchup?
My Super Bowl matchup. Um, okay, I think realistically, I can't say the Chiefs are not going to make the Super Bowl. They find a
You
way.
can't go against Mahomes.
I can't
They'll
go
find
against
a way.
Mahomes. I'm going to put the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm going to put Chiefs and Lions. Chiefs Lions Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's my Super Bowl. That's what my heart wants to see. My heart wants to see Chiefs Lions. Like I would say some good betting, some good bets. Like I already have a future. I put $75 on the Bengals to win the AFC. I think I think
Okay.
I think it's a good Super Bowl bet too. But if I were looking at it now, I think I would cash that out the minute they get into that championship against Mahomes. But I can also see Bengals Niners in the Super Bowl. Um, Bengals Bengals Eagles maybe, but like I just think the Eagles are a better playoff team than the Cowboys are, even though I think the Cowboys win that division. But I think realistic. I think Chiefs Lions. That's the Super Bowl I want to see. I think it's realistic. I think it can happen.
I got Ravens 49ers.
Ravens Niners. You had the purple red colors. Wait, what are the colors this
They,
year?
the,
It didn't matter
I
this
think
year.
it's like orange. I think it's orange and like a green. So I think it's Bengal Seahawks.
Or I think Bengals Eagles maybe Bengals Packers.
It's like a weird. It's like the
Or it's like a yellow,
neon
no?
green. Yeah, it's like a yellow green. It's like the one of like the Seahawks alternates. But no, league didn't want the fans to know it's rigged, so they changed up the colors for
Yeah,
that's why. It's the only reason it wasn't
that would
Ravens
have been
and
crazy. That
49ers
would have
this
been
year.
crazy.
But no. I do think Ravens get there.
You think
I think
Ravens
it's a
Niners?
net. I think finally they'll get there. And I think 49ers they'll get there.
Who do you have as a Super Bowl winner?
As much as I don't want it to be them, you know what though? Lamarck tends to struggle against fast pass rushing teams.
Well, I mean
You know,
that's the one that's
he's
the one
still
weakness.
if I'm not mistaken, he has still not beaten the Steelers. I think every time the Ravens have beat
Really?
the Steelers since he was drafted, it's been their backup quarterback that's beat us.
For real?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Like I don't think he's beaten the Steelers.
And
Um
that's TJ Watt.
yeah. So I do think that the 49ers defense gets to him, doesn't let him run the ball as much, and 49ers win it. That's my prediction.
I can that's very possible too. And my friend Joe would be very happy. Big
I
Niners
just
fan.
I'm not a Purdy guy though. I don't like Brock Purdy.
I disagree. I like his story. I don't think he's I
I
don't
think
think
he's a
he's
cool story,
I don't think
but
he's
I think he's
overhyped at all
overrated.
though. He's not. I think he's underhyped. Like
I
because
think he's
there's a lot of
overhyped.
people like you that say, "Oh, Bert like Purdy, I don't like him." I don't. I think he played phenomenal in the Super Bowl. I don't think that loss was on him. He when there was throws to make, he made them. It's just listen, that Chiefs defense is so underrated. It's so good.
No, no, no. That loss wasn't
McDuffie,
on Purdy. I'm just
no.
not the biggest Purdy guy. I do think he's a good quarterback, but I think you can toss a lot of quarterbacks in there and they'll get you where he got.
Obviously, I definitely that is the case. Like the team around him is so amazingly built. Like you
I
have
think Daniel Jones does what he does.
okay, I can see that, and I don't think Daniel Jones is that bad in my opinion. He just has Daniel Jones is in the total opposite situation as Purdy.
Yeah,
He's a guy that's surrounded by nothing around him. Nothing. The only guy that's
that's
around him is
that's the
Saquon
only.
Barkley with no O line. So like I, I do agree with you there. Like he's a quarterback that has an amazing team around him, amazing O line, amazing wide receivers, the best running back in the league, a great defense. But and any quarterback in that situation, I think would play well. I don't think he's terrible. Like when you
No,
throw the
no, he's
ball,
not a terrible
when he needs
quarterback.
to
There's
make the
not.
play, he makes it.
Look,
It's I can't hate on him for that.
he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. You can
Yeah,
hate on him all you want. The guy's good. The guy went from being Mr. Irrelevant to a starting quarterback who should be getting quite a big payday at the end of next season.
and rightfully so. I think he's earned it. Yeah, but
So that's what I'm saying. I think this is the year San Fran needs to capitalize because you have a quarterback on basically making nothing against your salary cap.
yeah, I think you're right.
So
The minute
this is your push.
they're definitely not going to be they're not going to be as favored as last year in the sense that they're going to be losing guys, and the team last year that was a team to win.
They also, they also have Kyle Shanahan at head coach, and he's a guy who can't hold the lead to save his life.
Yes and no. The two Super Bowl losses, you're going up Mahomes. Look if you look at
Was he
Mahomes,
not? I swear, was he not part of the 28-3?
he was a part of the 20-3, but I don't think he
Yeah.
wasn't the head coach. He was I don't know what his position was there, but as a head coach, he has two Super Bowl losses to Mahomes, and Mahomes is a guy. It doesn't matter how much you're down. When
I
it
thought or was he defensive coordinator? What was he
he
in
might
that?
I think he might have been a DC. I have to look this up. Let me look this up.
Checking.
Kyle Shanahan.
He was offensive coordinator.
He did. Hey, listen, 28 points in the first half. Come on.
And then you do nothing with it.
Okay, yes, but yes and no.
I'm
Like
sorry.
I don't think that's
The
fair.
offense went stale. The offense went. They made
They
some
did go
weird
stale.
play calls.
They did go stale. They did go
Oh,
stale.
like why on the final couple drives were they just throwing? There was barely any running from them. You're
Yeah,
trying to kill clock here.
a little stupid. But I wonder. The thing is, it's hard to tell when it comes to offensive coordinator and head coach, how much decisions come from that coordinator in a game like that, and how many decisions come from the coach. It's
Okay,
hard
so
to
now
tell.
here, I do agree with that. But now let me ask you: if they go next year and they lose in the Super Bowl or lose at any point earlier than that, the guy's been there since 2017. They've given him stacked teams. Yes, you can say last season, not the one that just happened, but the one before, they were down to no quarterback against the Eagles. Everyone
Yeah,
got hurt.
yeah, that was sad.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Then you go against this Chiefs team, who realistically, this is the worst team Mahomes has had in front of him, offensively.
Offensively,
Defense are still very good. Yeah, defense still very good.
defensively, this is the best team he's had defensively.
Yeah, but offensively it was challenged, and yet your defense can stop anything. Actually, no. Their defense did well. I don't know why they fired Wilkes. That was not on him.
They fired their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, like the night out, 2 days after the Super
Holy
Bowl or
shit!
something like that. A couple days after, yeah, it was maybe it was last week. They
I didn't know
all I
that.
know is they fired him. Yeah, they had to give someone as a scapegoat. It was either going to be Shanahan or
I
the
know.
defensive coordinator, and they gave.
This is what Mahomes does. Look, this is how he plays. Okay, and it's in every game, even regular season. He takes the first quarter and the second quarter to analyze. He
Are you?
analyzes that
I,
defense. He
I know
takes seconds.
you're not
Sorry,
much of a soccer guy, right? I know you watch
I
World
watch
Cup
soccer. I
and
watch
like
soccer.
yeah,
I don't
okay,
follow religiously, but I follow it.
Messi. Everyone criticizes him because he doesn't track back running. kind of walks and looks around, and he looks like he's doing absolutely nothing.
He's,
But then you look, he's just scouting. He sees where defensive players move,
yeah,
and he just sees what their tendencies are. And then next time he gets the ball, he's going to exploit that. That's what Mahomes does.
that's what he
He's
does.
going to start off a little bit
Exactly.
slow. He's going to scout you out. He's not going to show you everything in the playbook.
So
And then when it's time to show up, he's going to make the throw. And that's what he does.
that exactly my point. Is in the Super Bowl, that's what he did. Like 10-3 into halftime, or
That
was it
that's the
13?
biggest mistake.
Was it 13-10?
It was I think it was 13-3. No, 10-3. Something like that. Either
It was
way,
10-3.
it
It was
wasn't a
10-3.
high it wasn't high scoring.
No, but he was taking those sacks. He was throwing them out. He was reading their defense because he
And
hasn't played them this season. Chiefs didn't
but
play
that's
them
what I'm
this
saying.
season.
The 49ers' biggest mistake was that they didn't go out guns blazing in the first half. You
Yeah,
cannot let
but
Mahomes
but
into a
also but
close
also
game.
I think they were trying. It's just you have like that Chiefs defense is great.
It's
It's great.
good, but I don't know why you just don't. First play of that game. No, they scored first drive, right? San Fran? No, did they?
No, there's an interception, or there was some
Yeah,
type of fumble. I think it was a
yeah.
fumble. It
Oh
was a
yeah.
McCaffrey fumble.
What what should have happened was just have Brock Purdy chuck it, throw it deep, and show the Chiefs that we're not afraid to use Brock Purdy's arm. Because I can tell you right now, the way that who said it? What Chiefs player came out and said our goal that game was to keep the ball in Purdy's hand?
I didn't see that clip.
I swear. Um,
I didn't see it. I'm not sure, but I at the same time, it's hard. It's easy to say that though in hindsight, because they could have been doing the same thing Mahomes was kind of doing. Like let's kind of judge out how their defense is playing. Let's go for it. They should have known better. Mahomes, like they should know that Mahomes is that type of guy. Like you don't want to give that guy an easy comeback lead in the last quarter of the game. But
it was it was Sneed. Sneed
that's
came
what I
out
think.
and said, um,
They want.
let me
I
find the
mean, he
direct
would say that
tweet.
though. He's a safety. He of course he'd want it in their hands.
We we knew they were gonna try to run the ball. We knew what they were gonna try to do. We just wanted Brock to throw the ball. Like that's for you to come out and say that is ridiculous. So that's what they needed to have Brock
Was
Purdy,
that
whether it was an
before or
interception or
after the
not.
game?
Pardon?
Was that after the game?
After the game. After the game, obviously. You're not gonna say that if you lost
Yeah,
that
yeah,
game.
yeah.
But it's like, why not first play? Even if you get to like the 40-yard line and you just throw it. Just chuck it to Debo or Ayuk or
I thought
Juwan
Ayuk was
John.
gonna have a game and a half.
Yeah. But like either way, you just throw it. If it gets picked, oh well. But then that forces the Chiefs um corners and safeties to play a little bit deeper and actually respect you.
Yeah,
Because if you look, they were up close on a lot of
they
those
were they were
throws.
like if you looked at
They,
McDuffie
they were
play,
line.
I was
Yeah,
watching some McDuffie highlights when they were blitzing. He was pretending to go back, like he was up front, and then he would move
yeah.
back. So Purdy thinks, okay, he's trying to do man to man, and then the minute that ball snapped, blitz.
That
He
the
he was
San
they were a
Fran
little bit out coached
coaching,
on that end, I would say.
San Fran coaching didn't do a good job. You can tell Purdy is still a very young quarterback because he couldn't
Yeah,
pick up on a lot of the things that were happening.
or is that on the coordinator too? But Mahomes like
That's what I'm
when
saying.
you look at
They
Mahomes
didn't.
clips,
Oh,
it's him
also
analyzing
the
shit
biggest
and
thing.
making comments and saying, "Hey, we gotta exploit this. We gotta do this."
How
Like
how does Kyle Shanahan still have a job? He didn't tell his players the new overtime rule.
that's. I
That
was
is
just about to bring
ridiculous.
that up. After I was just
That
about to
is
bring that up.
how.
That is
That
that
is
is where you can say the out coaching because if you look at what the Chiefs were saying, they were saying all week we've been practicing. Hey, once if it's overtime, which I don't know how they knew that was gonna happen. Maybe
no,
Vegas
no,
has
no.
something to do with it, but they were in they were practicing. They said, hey, if we get that ball, we want it second, and we're going for two.
You can see Mahomes' face light up when
Yeah,
they
you
said
did.
we want
I saw
ball.
that clip. Maybe we'll add it
Like
in here in the post edits.
it's
But
it's it's ridiculous. Like that. It's the simple things like that that Shanahan will miss. And you can say yes, that's maybe on the
that
offensive
was a bad
coordinator,
call. That was
defensive
bad.
coordinator,
Yeah.
but you're the head coach. At the end of the day, you're going to be taking a lot of the blame.
I also did see the clip after where it was more use check saying we didn't know where he didn't know
Yeah,
that rule and where it was Shanahan kind of saying like I wanted that ball third, which I kind of, in my opinion, like not
I
knowing
would
about the points for
understand.
two, I would want that ball third too. Because if you're confident your team can get that touchdown, then you know, okay, the Chiefs might get a touchdown. All you need to do is a field goal now, and you win the game. So, like, having
But
the ball
I don't
third.
know how. I don't know how you don't know that rule.
But I'm pretty sure he did coach with. Did he coach with Andy Reid at some point?
Shanahan?
Or no, sorry, it was Harbaugh. It was Harbaugh and Shanahan that coached together. But you should at this point, you've had experience. You played against Andy Reid in the Super Bowl 3 years before that, 4 years before that, 4 years before that. You you should know how Andy Reid is a coach, and you should know if he gets that ball second, he's going for two. So that's where he messed up. I agree on that. They In hindsight, it's easy to say. I mean, watching the game, I wanted the Chiefs to have the ball first because of that having the opportunity to get the ball third. But then knowing that they're going for two, I was like, okay, this is a whole new strategy. I didn't even think about that. So Shanahan did get out coached there in that decision for sure.
Not the first time he's been outcoached, and
Yeah,
that's
I agree. Yeah, you bring up a point. I don't think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's
no.
terrible.
There's
I
but
like I
like
like
look
his
at
offensive schemes. I like some of the trick plays he comes up with, but
so give him back an offensive coordinator role. He's not a head coach in my eyes.
I I can agree with that. I think you give him one more shot. I think you give him this season.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Yeah,
You have this
yeah.
is it for him.
You give him one more shot. You see what they do. I don't think, in my opinion, it's Super Bowl or bust. Just because like
Okay, so
they're
let's say
losing.
you don't win the Super Bowl this year. Okay,
I
you
think
have
it
one
depends
more
on how they
year of
lose.
McCaffrey. You have one more year of McCaffrey. You're now giving Purdy a big contract, and let me see other contracts.
They're losing some guys on defense too. Listen,
Yeah.
I don't think I think they. I thought this year was more Super Bowler, but like I don't know if they're not gonna have they're
Okay.
definitely gonna have a harder time next year than this year. I think it's like if there's another game where they lose and he gets out coached and there's a coaching decision that kind of
Okay.
makes them lose,
They
I would
lose.
fire him.
Ready to hear who they lose next year?
Yeah.
At the end of next year? Arik Armstead, Dre Greenlaw, Brandon Ayuk, uh,
Shit.
and that's probably the main guys that
What about this year?
really
They're losing some
matter
guys this
much.
year. Is I think one
No,
of
no,
them.
they're pretty okay for this year.
Okay.
Oh, they're losing Travarius Ward too, 2025.
That's a big loss. Yeah,
This year they
you're right.
should
You're
be
right. They
okay.
have to win this year or no year. Like it's this year or they're fucked. But the only thing they have going for them is that NFC. They like. I think they can win their division. The Rams might give them a tough time now, but I think they can still win that division, and they can
They can
consistently
win the
win
division,
games.
but it's like, what do you do once you win? Is winning the division enough?
No, but I think they can get to the playoffs. They can be a sneaky team if they can somehow pull through with that with losing all those guys and kind of build around that again. Look at the
Like I,
Chiefs. Like the
if
defense is all
I'm
young. They're all like second year players.
if I'm San Fran, if I'm Buffalo, if I'm Dallas, I'm looking at Bill Belichick halfway through the season. If I'm not liking how the team's looking, I'm okay with a midseason coaching change, and I'm going and getting Bill Belichick for 1 year
Yeah,
for that second half of the season and that playoff run. I'm saying give me Belichick.
my my opinion on Belichick is I think Brady had a lot to do with him winning as well.
I mean, you can. I don't disagree.
I think he's a great coach. I think you're right. I think you if your team's this year and you're kind of iffy about your coach starting the season, I think definitely like eyes are on Belichick and rightfully so. But do I think
I
he's gonna
don't think,
save them?
but
I don't know.
when does Have you ever seen Belichick make a bad coaching decision?
No, no.
No, because he knows what he's doing,
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
that's true.
I do think you, if you're San Fran, Dallas, or Buffalo, one of those three teams, you're kind of entering the latter stages of your chances to win a Super Bowl.
Definitely San Fran. I agree
So,
on you. I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Dallas, if you don't win the next 2 years, is
Oh,
Dak
I
really the
think
guy?
Dallas. The only thing is like I feel like they've already had enough chances with Dak. With
The only thing I'll say is they lost Diggs the whole year.
I don't think Diggs has that much. Like I think guys came in and filled in Diggs' role like pretty well. I forgot his name, but he had a lot of like he broke the record for
Oh,
interceptions.
I know who you're talking about.
What's his name? Fuck. They had Stephon Gilmore. He's a great, but it wasn't Gilmore. It was oh my god. Is he 21?
Uh,
His number. How can I? I'm blanking. I'm blanking. But that role definitely like once you find his name, that role was filled. I think fine. I don't think Diggs would have made a big difference. I think they still lose to the Packers. But
no, Gilmore was 21.
you know, it wasn't Gilmore
Who
though.
was
It was
there?
another guy. God.
Trying to find there. Okay, here we go. Wasn't Lewis? Oh, Bland.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, he had a very good year.
Diggs, like Diggs would help, but I don't think him missing really affected them too much. Like I think his role was filled pretty well. Um, but I think you're right. Like if Dallas, listen, if Dallas chokes again, I think Dak needs to go. And here's the thing: isn't he a free agent this summer?
Is he?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought he signed recently.
I saw something, or it might be next season. It might be like he might have one more season with Dallas, and then next season he's a free agent.
He
Let me
signed a 4-year deal that expires. You are right.
next season.
Yeah, he's got one more year.
All right. If they don't, I think you give him one last chance to lead that team. Do his here we go. He's got one more. He's got one more in him. If they choke again, he's gone. He's
I
gone.
don't disagree.
It's like listen, the reason why I was crying on that bench when the Leafs lost is because in my head I thought Nylander was gone. I thought I
I
thought
thought Marner
I
was.
didn't see I didn't see Dubas like I didn't see that happening. I thought Dubas was staying. And I thought Dubas was making was I still think if Dubas was our GM, this team wouldn't be the same this year. I think there was going to be some ruffled leaves. I don't think it was going to be Matthews in my head.
No, I think it was. I think it was Marner and Nylander for sure. One of the
I
two.
think I mean Nylander was it was either you sign him or don't. Oh, they could have traded him. Um, I think I thought those two were gone, and I'm happy that they weren't. Um, because
Well,
I
we're
think
happy now, but I think playoffs is going to be the thing that decides it.
I agree, but I'm too emotionally attached to these players. I I
I'm with you.
I don't want
You know,
I
it's
don't want them gone.
every year you're gonna tell yourself, "Oh, I don't have hope." But you know what? Then the Leafs play like they have been these last couple of games
Yeah.
without Morgan Riley, and you're like, "Okay, this team can do it."
So if I'm Dallas, I still think it's a little bit like I'm not going to compare them. This is two different sports. I think Dak needs to go.
Yeah,
This is from my perspective, and I know guys that are like Evan, who are like Matthews needs to go, trade Matthews, and fuck no, like come on, it's like
the
he's the
guy,
closest player to Ovechkin, and they have
the
totally different
guy,
play styles.
the guy likely will go down as not only the greatest Leaf, but the greatest American to ever play the game.
I think Ovechkin breaks Gretzky's record, and I think
Oh, I think it's more so a matter of if not, or sorry, not if when. Like I do think he
I
does
think
it too.
he's definitely slowing down, but he's been heating up the last few weeks. But he's slowing down. I think
A big part of that's Backstrom. The guy's lost his
yeah.
the guy who's fed him the puck for how many years in a row now?
But here's what I'm gonna say. I think Ovechkin breaks that record, and I think in 6 years after that, maybe even less, Matthews comes in and fucking destroys Ovechkin's record.
How many how many goals does Matthews currently have?
He has 50. Oh, in his career, I
No, no,
believe
no, 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 no. Let me check.
it's just shy of 400.
348. I don't think that's counting what he's done today. No, that won't count what he's
And
done
what's the
today.
record? 800 something.
Uh,
He's halfway, kinda. A little bit less. He's got a little more to go than halfway, but
No, wait,
He's on a
is it?
bet.
It's what?
If Ovechkin's
What?
on the
Oh,
fastest, the closest pace to Gretzky, Matthews has a better pace than Ovechkin did at this point of his career. So
894.
so he's
894 is the record. So he's a little under half.
well about 100 under half, but about
And
260.
how many he's played 535 games now. Ovechkin has played just on 2 games under 1400. It's going to be close because let me see. What are Ovechkin's?
God, that it's so
Okay.
it'd be so impressive
Look.
though.
This
What are you gonna read?
Ovechkin's goals 52, 46, 65, 56, 50, 32, 38, 32, 51, 53, 50, 33, 49, 51, 48, 24, 50, 42, 16.
Matthews 60 what 3 years ago, 40 last year, and he's now at 50, and he's probably aiming for 70, 75. And the years
Ovechkin's
before that,
also had to deal with quite a few
only
shortened
50 goal season.
seasons.
But so is Matthews. So is Matthews though. I think at this point
No,
in
no,
their
no.
career.
I'm not saying that as a knock on Matthews. I'm more
Oh
saying it's more likely for him to do it.
yeah. I think, um, like because of COVID, Ovechkin had to deal with 2 lockouts and 2 strikes. So one of them was shorter than the other, but it
Wait,
was.
what was the? Did he have to deal with two?
I'm pretty sure he had to deal with
What
2.
years?
There was one,
I
I
thought the
think, like
one was.
2013. There was a lockout in 2013, and there was a
Yeah, that
lockout,
was the year he played 48
and I
games.
think there was a lockout in his first year of his career.
So did he not play that first year? Because
Him and
his first
him and
season,
him and Crosby kind of started around the. I think he was drafted
because
before Crosby. It was either he was drafted the year before Crosby or the year after Crosby. I think it was the year before Crosby, and I think one of those years someone had to deal with a lockout, and I'm pretty sure it was Ovechkin.
2004, 2005. What
That's when he
year
was
was
drafted.
Ovechkin drafted? No, that's
That
the
was a
year of the
lockout.
lockout.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was drafted 04 or 05.
Uh, why is it not coming up?
What's crazy to me is like it took so long for like
He was in the 2004 draft. So then would he have
he
missed?
dealt he
He
dealt
would
with
have missed the.
he dealt with his first year being a lockout, which
Oh wait,
honestly
no, no, no.
I'm pretty sure.
Um.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He was highly regarded at the foot.
Would it have made that much of a difference?
It's 1 year.
The
Probably.
rookie year, like Matthews, what had 40, somewhere in the 40s. I think it was 40 goals. Impressive for a rookie. Ovechkin
I
probably would have been
mean,
like at around 35 to 42. So
Ovechkin had 52 his first year.
yeah, but that was like he was also a year older with a whole year to condition.
He also played overseas in
Yeah,
Russia.
okay. But Matthews also played in Swiss professional hockey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't.
They're
I don't
very
know if it'll
similar
make
players,
much.
man.
It's
Like
gonna be
different
close.
different
It'll
play
be very
styles,
close.
obviously. Like different
We also
players, but
we also don't know how the drop off for Matthews will be.
exactly, yeah. That's what's scary. But he's heating up. He's been heating up. He's been only getting better every year. So who knows? And will there be a team always around him? Yes.
Yeah,
If he stays with the Leafs.
yeah, yeah.
Nylander's locked up for 7. Or is it 8?
Marner's locked.
Marner's got 2 or 3 left. And
Yeah, it's still locked.
Matthews got 5 after this. Hear me out. Big McDavo
You
will be a Leaf
okay? No,
at some point in Matthews'
I
career.
I think it'll be a long way down the road for that
Even
to
if it's a
happen.
long way down the road, it could be when Matthews is like going on that downhill, like Ovechkin is right now. Now he's got a guy like
If
McDavid, and I think
if there's
McDavid.
one guy, if there's one guy I would love to see the Leafs sign, it's Stamkos.
Oh God, no! I fucking hate that rat. He had his chance to be a Leaf.
Yeah.
He had his
I
chance,
love Stamkos.
but he
Nah,
had his
bring him
chance.
back.
He had his chance to be a Leaf. I think it was the summer before Matthews, so I don't think Matthews would be a Leaf if Stamkos joined. So thank God that rat chose to go to stay back in Tampa. I honestly, I hate Stamkos. Like, I mean, it's off of recency bias. The last 2 years playing Tampa in the playoffs, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. Um,
I love Stamkos.
I also have other reasons I don't want to put on my podcast why I hate the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I don't like Stamkos. I don't want him on a Leaf. Um, I also hate Marchand, but I would love Marchand as a Leaf. So there's
Okay.
that. I hate Marchand with all my life, but I think after years of maturity and not having to face Boston in the first round for a few
So
years,
good.
I
You look at
I kind of like the
everyone's
game.
like, oh, product of Bergeron. The guy
No,
is carrying Boston. Well, I wouldn't say he's carrying Boston, but he's playing very well without Bergeron.
he's a typical hockey player, man. It's like, oh
Oh, the Leafs are gonna leave. The Leafs are gonna.
no, no, no. They do have a bad
it's
record
three.
against it. Oh shit,
It's 3-2.
they do have a bad record against Arizona the last few years. That Arizona has been their kryptonite the last few years. I'm not even kidding. It's been the last 2 seasons where
Oh,
they can't beat the Arizona Coyotes. Oh my god.
oh my
That might
god.
be high stick. I think we
No,
should
no,
shut this
no,
down.
that's in, that's in. No, that's not even close to a high. That's
At
cool.
least might leave. At least might leave.
Oh,
I say we continue this
yeah,
hockey talk.
yeah, we'll continue on. All right,
And I think we move on to other stuff after. But let's continue this NHL
yeah.
conversation.
Okay,
Um
so if you're looking Leafs, right?
yeah.
We'll stick here for a second. Let's say they go, they're making playoffs. There's no doubt they're making playoffs. As much as they're like
Oh yeah.
somewhat close to those bubble teams, like they're in.
They
They're in.
they
There's
they've
no
uh
doubt.
they've made me more confident in that the last few seasons. That the fact that they've been without Riley, and been playing so well, might lose this game, but I think they're losing one of these back to back games. Probably
So what's
tomorrow.
your who do they play tomorrow?
They play the Knights tomorrow. That's gonna be a rough one. They're playing a game in Arizona. They played a game Monday. They played a game Saturday. I think that's a game the Leafs lose. Realistically, it'd be nice if they win. If they can get a win, holy shit, like that'd be beautiful. But Vegas has also played a lot of
Okay,
games
so
recently too. I think
if there's one player you can add to the Leafs, who's it?
McDavid.
No, okay, like realistically this year, before the trade deadline.
A realistic ad. They need defensemen.
Yeah.
And it has to be like someone that's on the trading block.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't been following Matt Dumba the last few years, but I've heard rumors about them going into Matt Dumba, and I think the only, I think he'd not be a bad fit. Tanev for me is old. He's been good as much as the rumors are. Like they want that like vet on the back end. They have enough of that. Like I'm I don't know
So
how well Tanev would fit on this team.
so TSN released their top 20 trade baits
Yeah, I saw that
for
today.
this trade deadline.
It was three Calgary guys: Hannafin or Dumba
Markstrom
for
and
me.
Tanev. So of defensemen, they've got Hannafin, Tanev, Sean Walker, Alexander Carrier. Who else? Chitrin
I like Chitrin, and he's been rumored a few
and
times.
then Nick Sealer.
I don't think Chitrin leaves Ottawa. I don't
No,
think
I as
not this year.
Leafs need a right-handed defense. Leafs need a right-handed defenseman.
They do. They've always have, but they figure out ways, man.
I think they do, but I think Tanev's the guy. I think you've got to go with the move for Tanev.
I
If
don't want to give up
you're
too
and
much
also
for a
is
guy
it
who's probably
has
only here for a
how
year.
long's
Tanev is 34 years old. I believe he's 34. Let me look it up here. Chris Tanev.
he the one that brought is
He's 34.
Trevelyan the one that brought in Tanev?
Sorry, was it He signed in 2020. I believe it was Brad. It was Brad Trey
Mm.
Living.
So then would you not you've got the history with the guy. You clearly wanted him in Calgary.
I think it's realistic. I think it's happening. I think that's the most realistic um, move the Leafs to make. Do I think it's a
And
bad move? No.
so
But would it
what do
be the
you are
move I
you?
want? No. I want a younger
So you're giving
defenseman.
up a first. Okay. Why is Siri going off? All right. So if you're doing that, realistically, it's picks. I don't think a player will be included.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
agree.
then what else?
I
What else do you
honestly,
are you are you happy with this Leaf forward core?
oh, I'm happy with the forward core. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. They, um, for a move, if they need to make a move, I think they need to go for definitely a defenseman or two, and I want some more stability on goaltending. Like, let's see how Joseph Wall recovers. Let's see how he recovers. But I want a. They have Martin Jones as that vet guy, but man, I want like just worst case scenario. Like Fleury would be nice if we can get Fleury or like a Markstrom, somebody with. But Markstrom doesn't have the best playoff experience. Like I feel like Fleury would be perfect, just to have as like. I mean that this is looking like the cap like. I'm being a little daydreaming a little bit, but I do want to see a little bit more stability on goaltending. I'm not happy with Samsonov. Um, he has games where he looks like God, and then he has games where he looks like Judas. Like he, I don't
Okay.
know. He just man, he's so
If
inconsistent
you're
this year.
if you're looking at the Leafs defense right now,
Yeah,
you've got Brody, the ones who are going to usually start. Brody, Liljegren, McCabe,
Riley.
Riley, Geo, and then probably Benoit, right?
I like Benoit. Yeah. Here's where I see the least. This is some of the problems. Okay.
How many? So what? The only right-handed shot you have there's Liljegren.
Yeah, Riley plays on the right hand side. He's so diverse.
Brody can't. Brody can play on the right too, but
He
it's
can.
like you kind of want another right-hand shot.
No, I definitely agree. Here's where I'm a little skeptical about a Tanev move or a Dumba move. Okay, there's not much defense available, so those are the only guys that are like attainable. Oh my god, they almost blew it.
Yeah, I suppose.
They're very slow, man. They're very slow on the defensive end. They only fast, really moving defensemen, which is not terrible. Like they haven't been they actually hasn't been biting him in the ass recently. Um, but like Liljegren is probably their fastest defenseman, and I think he's the one that would probably go. I don't think he has a.
No, I think Liljegren's one that
Well, because
stays.
he's right-handed. You're saying it's just
So I think if you make the move for Tanev, you're going Brody, Liljegren, McCabe, Riley, Tanev, and then that last spot's gonna be
I like Benoit.
it's gonna be Benoit or Geo, and they'll probably just rotate in.
I, I Benoit has proven himself, man. Like he's a beast out there. Like there's like
I don't disagree. So you're gonna rotate Geo and Benoit as the
yeah,
six.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think honestly, I think it's Gio's time. Like I love that guy. In the playoffs, he comes up big. Like he was so clutch for us last year too. Like he didn't make really any mistake. Like it's just this is the problem. Like they're slow. He's slow. They move slow. Riley has. I feel a lot of their defensemen have slowed down. Um, it's not been terrible. They've been figuring it out. Like they're big. Like I like how they've been playing. Like I like Benoit. Like I like the aggressiveness he brings, the feistiness he brings, and their defense has been playing like that. Like McCabe has been not taking any guy's shit in front of the net. Um,
So then, do you move a guy like Nyes to bring in an
honestly,
elite defenseman?
I would. I love as much as I love Nye. Sorry, Alessia, the love of your life.
Because
He listen.
because you can.
He's replaceable though. He's Nyes is more replaceable than these defensemen are.
I mean, I don't disagree. You are then splitting up that Matthews line. So now, who do you move up? Are
Man,
you do you trust Bobby enough after these last since All-Star break, I guess. He's been kind of
Here's one
snapping.
guy that I loved, and he had to go at the time, but I'm regretting it every day. Is Zach Hyman not re-signing Zach Hyman? That guy, he was perfect. Grinders,
I do like Zach Hyman.
like this. Some people disagree with me. Like Evan disagreed. Evan wanted Nyes on that line. Matthews has worked well with a guy like Marner, a guy like Nylander, who's got the skills. Look at Domi roughing him up. I love this. Nylander too got in there. But back what I was saying, Matthews has been like the last few years has been really good with a. I mean, he's having a great season now. Like, but what's worked for him too in the past was a grinder like Hyman.
Leafs, are the Leafs getting a power play? No, 4-4.
Who's
Okay.
Jersey? Who's Jersey going freaking out against?
Domi. Domi.
Yeah, Jersey. That's right. That's why you've been passed around the entire league. Um, what was I saying? But Matthews has worked well with a grinder like Hyman in the boards, getting that puck. Last year there was Bunting doing in that role, and then you have a guy like Marner or Nylander with the skills who can, feed you and like Matthews works around. He knows where to get on the ice, right? He positions himself well, and you have a guy like Nylander or Marner like that circle with the puck, more of the playmaker, right? And then you have that guy when it gets to that corner, he's getting that puck. Whereas
So
Matthews has kind of played in that role this year a little bit too.
if you move nice,
Yeah,
you're looking at
put McMahon there. McMahon is the
McMahon,
guy.
Matthews, Marner. Okay. Then you're looking at Bertuzzi, Tavares, Nylander, right?
But
Then
Robbie Domi.
you go Robbie, Domi, and what, Pontus? Or Yarncrook when he comes
Yarny.
back?
I like Yarny, yeah, when he's back.
Are you happy with that as a third line?
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Listen, I
'Cause
honestly would
from what
rather
I'm,
move Robbie over Nyes. In my
but you're
opinion,
not going to get as big of a return.
you're not
Like,
gonna get as
hey,
big of a
let me
return.
ask you: if you're getting Chikrin back, what are you willing to give up?
It's gonna have to be Robbie or Nyes. If they could do Robbie in a first or Robbie in a second, that might work.
I don't know if you'd have to. What did they give up to get him?
To get Chitrin, I believe
Yeah,
it was like Arizona wanted him gone. I think it was like a first round pick
a conditional first for this year,
and
a
then two
conditional
picks.
second, and a second. So a first and 2 seconds.
Okay, Robbie is a first
He's
round
not.
pick.
He's not worth that much now.
So give him
After
Robbie in a fourth.
okay, you'd probably have to give up a first or a second at least. Oh, who's hurt?
Including Robbie?
Uh,
Is that
yeah,
Logan Cooley?
yeah, it is. What
Matt
happened to
Dumba.
him? Oh,
Might be illegal.
Liljegren's
Oh,
going.
Lilgren's Cooley's bleeding. What happened to him?
Oh, did he lose a tooth
I
too?
think Lilgren.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, just a hockey play. Just a hockey
Oh,
play.
it's the second little like
Yeah,
nudge.
he got
Yeah,
the boards to his face, but I that's not really on Lilgren.
it's
It was
not
just
a
a hockey
penalty.
play.
No, they were just battling.
Yeah, just a hockey play. Like it's just unfortunate. Yeah, his face hit the boards,
Whoa.
the groove in the boards. Damn, that is unfortunate. Um, I'd rather give up Robbie over Nyes, but if we have to get a star defenseman, I'm okay giving one of those up. I think the Leafs need another one of those.
So the
But the
conditional
defense hasn't
first
been
was
terrible this year. It's just I'd rather get a defenseman than a forward.
well, okay, you say, but then when you go up against Colorado in like a Stanley Cup Finals, a Colorado team that still hasn't had Landeskog in 2 years, that they're finally going to get him back come playoffs.
Yeah,
You need as much defense as you can.
yeah, and I think, like guys like Yarncrow, he's been clutch when he's in the lineup. He scores big goals.
Oh, I'm a big
So
fan,
I don't
but
mind a Robbie, Domi, and Yarncrow third line, and then and the fourth line, those are just goons you're throwing out there. Like I honestly would play Reeves in the playoffs. Especially if things
over.
maybe not the first game or the second game, but if things start to get feisty, I'd put Reeves in there. Um,
I think Reeves is
I
a
think
guy you
I
start in
think Cam
game
needs
one
to
of
make the
every
lineup.
series.
Sorry,
Camford, I think Reeves is a guy you start in every game one of the playoffs.
maybe set the tone. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And I like Camphy. Just I like his defensive game. I know some this year Keith has called him out a few times for his defensive game, but I know I like Camphy. I think I'd play him in the playoffs. I put Camphy, Revo, and maybe Pontus, maybe Pontus. But I'm okay. I'm okay giving up an Izzy or Robbie if it means a star defenseman.
I think that's, you know,
Would you do it for Hannafin?
no,
I I, I like Hannafin's
I don't
age.
know.
I think when
I
Hannafin's
would,
career
I would,
coming to
however,
Carolina was so high on him, and the league was high
I'd
on
be
him.
open. I'd be open to moving Robertson or Nyes and a couple picks for both Hannafin and Tanev.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I think
For me, it would be Robbie
that's a dream trade.
and 2 seconds, but they don't have a second.
No.
Robbie, maybe
So
I don't want
I
to give
think
up a
Robbie
first.
I think Robbie in a first, and you're probably gonna have to give up a defenseman too for Tanev and Hannafin would be ideal.
But the thing is, here's my problem. I really like the Leafs chemistry this year on defense. It's their defense needs they can use another star. They can use some more insurance. I don't
I
think they've
agree.
been terrible. I don't think they've been terrible.
No, no,
But I
Benoit started out
like
pretty bad, and then he's just settled in.
oh he's
He's
been
looked
great.
great.
He's been great. Like last year there was guys you can pinpoint that need to go like a Justin Hall. Like they've had like a
Hey, hey,
defensive.
hey, hey, hey!
Listen, I know
Don't
he's great.
disrespect Justin Hall,
I
Red
don't
Wings
disrespect Justin
alumni
Hall.
right there. That guy's awesome.
They've had guys like oh, and I put Noah Gregor. I forgot about that guy, man. Put him in the fourth line. But they've had
He's
guys where it's
awesome.
like Jake Gardner. You had Jake Gardner. You had shit. Who's the guy who
I do think I do feel bad for
You had a Marty
Gardner.
Marincin, man. You had a Justin Hall where it was like, and Justin Hall. Hey, all to him, he wasn't terrible come playoff time this year. Last year, sorry, he wasn't terrible. But there was a guy that you can pinpoint and say,
you
hey, he's
you
gonna make a
can't
mistake.
go into you can't go into playoffs so and go, okay, this guy's not terrible. That's the only issue.
I,
You know, when you're going up against Florida and you're going up against Tampa and Boston every
yeah,
single time, you
but I'm
can't
looking
just
at
settle for not terrible.
I'm looking at past Leafs defense
Yeah,
scorers,
this is
and they've always had a
probably.
guy where it was like, shit, like this guy can fuck us. Like,
I mean, Muzzin looked pretty slow
yeah,
when he.
and this year I'm like, you know what? There's not one guy that I can say might screw us. Hey, can they use another star? Yeah, but I feel like they have like these average guys are just their chemistry is fine. Like they I don't know. They've been playing okay.
Well, I think you have a reason for your. I think we all have a reason for our love for Bobby.
You want to talk about? You want to get into that? I
we,
think we
we,
do.
we,
I think
we,
it's time.
we can talk about why we love Bobby.
I think it's time. I think it's time. We'll somehow I'm gonna have to
We'll,
edit these
we'll,
in later, but
yeah,
um
we'll insert a clip of what actually happened. But if you want to describe
you want to describe?
what
Okay,
happened,
so me and Nick and some people on our we'll call their names Kat, Alessia, and Mila on our team. Um, I don't know if they're gonna be okay with that, but I don't even give last names. But yeah, we all went to the Leafs practice, outdoor practice. What was it? 2 Thursday, not last Thursday, the Thursday before that, February 8
yeah,
or 7. One of the best days of my life. Anytime I get to meet some Leaf players, it's one of the best days of my life. But yeah, we were at the practice and we just kind of waited around to get some signatures to meet some players. Um, got me and I mean just I, poor Nick, big Nylander guy. I got Nylander's signature because of Alessia. Alessia grabbed my jersey and
shout
went
out
to sign it.
Alessia.
And then Nylander fist bumped me and walked to the other side. Let's give some description here. So the way it worked was there was basically the Leafs came out of the practice and walked down an aisle basically to their oh my god to their bus, and there was two sides basically to this aisle. There was the right like our side that we were on, facing the street, and the side that was that no we weren't facing the street. Our backs were to the street, and there was a side that the backs were to the rink. So there was a 50-50 that the players would be on your side at the time signing your stuff. Um, Nylander came left, got signed
Yeah,
Matthews.
to be fair to him, behind you were a
There's
group of
Nylander
kids,
jerseys.
and one of them had a Nylander jersey. So you know
Yeah,
what? He did walk right past me, but he went to kids, and
no,
you know what?
it was.
That's fair. That's fair. You know
We,
what?
we
I'm
were
they
basically.
all they also had his jersey. I didn't. So you know what?
Yeah.
There's no hate on me. Still
No,
my
no,
favorite
no,
Leaf.
no, no, no. Nylander,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
out of all the guys that came out, Nylander was a guy there signing everything, acting like funny, smiling, like wanted to be there, like having a good time. Like that's just who Willie Styles is. It was just basically the format of this place. It was like we were in the spot where like beforehand, either they were on our side the entire time, and then we were kind of in the middle, and then went to the other side to finish it off, or they were on the other side and came to our end. So we were
Yeah.
kind of in the in between stage. So
And I mean,
Nylander signed
I'd
our stuff
say,
and went.
I think, what happened after Nylander walked right by you and us and went to
Oh,
the other side is when he's so just paint a picture here. You got Nylander, standing in front of you, signed your jersey, and kind of all freaking out like, oh my god, that's Willie Styles right in front of us. And then you turn your head, and standing
caught me.
right in front of you is Austin Matthews.
I'm really
Like it's
surprised.
just it's just unreal. And like he was so nice. He signed my jersey, signed your jersey too. And it was,
Yeah,
like it's just you just look up and it's just Austin Matthews in
it's
front of
like
you.
normally I'm the biggest Austin Matthews meat rider. I have his signature. Like this is my end. I had his signature already. I have him. I have a whole like literally like Matthews tribute in my room. Matthews signature, his rookie cards. I pray to that when this playoff time. But in my head, I was like, okay, what do I need? I need a Nylander signature. I need a Nylander signature on my Nylander jersey. So my mind was, let me get Nylander. Let me worry about Matthews, kind of as an afterthought, just because I already met him. I that the day like that day I already got to fist bump him. So my mind was Nylander. So I was staring at Nylander. He signed my jersey. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Nylander signed my jersey. I turned my head, and it's Poppy right there, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know what to say. Like, I'll insert the clips, but basically, I put my put my jersey. I got him to sign the other side where the leaf on the leaf, and just kept saying, "You're the goat. You're the goat. You're the goat. You're the goat. You're the goat." Because I didn't know what else to do. I was starstruck. That like, it was such a shock. It was like he just appeared out of nowhere. It was like God.
Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it, but Luke, I think you should also
I'll talk
mention what
about that.
signs you had.
Yeah, you know what? I'll insert those clips too. I'll out myself here, but I had a basically I had a sign which when they came I kind of babied them,
Real, it's
wimped
not to
out,
put it up.
and then put them up. But I had a sign that I made, and I had some coded pictures where I had one end on one hand it was hard Willie for Willie, and on the other end was I'll say it, I'm a whore for 34, and I held those up. Um, you know, chose to kind of put them away when it was time for the
Time
big
for
guys
them
to come
to
out. I didn't want to scare off the
but
Leaf players from signing my jersey and getting a chance to meet them. But hey, that was one of the
going into that, yeah, going into the signs now. How about we talk about, the sign and Bobby McMahon, the GOAT.
so I'll explain it. The girls with us have a big crush on Matthew Nyes. Basically made a love letter for Nyes with their Instagram handles. I love Nyesy, saying I love Nyesy. I don't even remember what it said, but
Yeah,
they
or
had
yeah,
four
it's like we
signs.
we love knives or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had like three signs for Nyes, and that was their whole goal was to go there and meet Nyes. Um, little they know, but Matthew Nyes is cuffed up. He's got a girlfriend back home in Scottsdale. He's in a happy relationship. He doesn't want to, not be in a happy relationship with his girlfriend that he's had for 2 years. So Matthew Nyes kind of saw those signs and kind of decided to stay away and avoid the girls and bother them a little bit. Um, don't blame him. I mean, hey, he like I said, it was a circumstance. The two sides. Matthew Nyes was out on
Ooh,
our side.
Nylander getting physical now.
Bro, he's been getting physical all night. This is the second time. Is that him in the middle of everything?
Yeah, he was. He started. He went at because the guy checked
I
him
love
late
him. I
into
love
the
him.
board, so he just shoved him.
I love him, man. Listen. Like I said, I will die on I will die on the rock defending William Nylander.
Yeah,
I can't take
that's
any
our
more
boy.
William
That's
Nylander
our
slander.
boy.
I can't take it.
We'll name the pod after him.
Maybe instead of bleed blue for Willie Styles,
Not hard willies for Willie.
hard Willie's for Willie. Yeah, he's gonna look at that and be like, "Oh God." Yeah, he's got a little
I
zest
want to
in
be
him.
on that
He's got a
podcast.
little zest in him.
He's got.
but
But yeah,
oh well,
so they had the sign. Knives obviously
didn't
didn't.
come
To be
through.
fair, Knives didn't sign a lot. Um,
You know what the problem
Supposedly he
is?
was told there was a lot of the players before him were a bit slower, like going through signing everything,
He was
and
one of
I
the last
guess
guys out.
they wanted the area cleared, so they kind of said like we gotta like hurry this up more. And you were still waiting on guys like Matthews and stuff, who obviously are the bigger attractions, so you kind of have to clear the space for them.
Yeah,
So he was told to hurry up. So he didn't end up signing much, um, but oh well. And then
he'll
in
go to New York.
comes
In comes
goes
Big
Bobby.
Bobby. In comes
Uh,
Bobby. You know, I'll say so. In comes Bobby. Right there and notices the sign. Starts making conversation. You know what's great about these guys like Bobby and like other players that are not like the superstars is like when their names are being called out, they kind of like they like it because like not everyone, not all casual fans know who Bobby McMahon is, or at this point knew who until the last few weeks, until he's been ripping and like absolutely like
that's a hat
on a
trick
tear.
hero now.
Yeah, on a tear. Bobby McDouble. Don't know who he is unless you like are a big fan. So we're calling his name. He comes to us. He starts making conversation. Alessia goes. Alessia and Kat, one of them said like, "Can you?" He sees a sign. He goes, "Can you give this to Nizy? Can you give this to Nizy? He's avoided us. We're so upset. All we want to do is just give the sign to Nizy." And he goes, "Is that a love letter?" And they go, "Yeah, yeah." And he goes, "I got you guys." Puts it in his pants. Says he's gonna give it to his stall. And after that, we were like just dying of laughter, calling him the goat.
So let's just talk about what he's done since he's put
Oh
a
yeah,
note down
since
his
he's done
pants.
that,
And
put that
so wait,
sign
he
in
got
his
a hat.
pants
He got a hat trick,
against the
two
Blues.
goals. Yeah. What was the
Uh,
Blues game the first game since or no?
because it was All Star break. No,
No, it was
no,
after All
sorry, it
Star
was
break.
after All Star break. They
It was
played on
on.
the Saturday night. I think they played the Sens. Night
So
before.
February 6th. Okay.
They played the Sens.
They played the Stars and the Sens and the Blues and the Flyers and the Ducks and then the Blues again.
I still think he had some points on those games,
Okay,
I don't even
I'll
know if he was
pull
in
it
the
up.
lineup. It wasn't until Marner and Tavares were out, and he wasn't supposed to play that game against the Blues, and then Marner got sick. And
Matthews scored. Matthews just scored. He batted out of there.
no fucking way.
Yeah, to be fair, it was like it was watch the goal.
He's laughing.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll
look at that face.
see.
He's like, ooh, when he makes that face, like,
Yeah, it was probably the worst goal. It's probably the easiest goal he scored all year. Are they
oh,
reviewing this?
yeah.
There's no. I don't think it was high stake.
I need to see this. What a game. Oh, what a pass by Marner.
Brody kind of whiffed on that shot.
It kind
No,
of
no, that's clean. That's clean.
it
That's
kind of went
clean.
off his body. It just went off his body. It went off his body.
Oh, he didn't even hit it with
He
the
just was in the right
stick.
place, right time, man. That's how Matthews. That's what he gets after his goals. I think it's fine.
Oh, I think they're checking if it hit his stick
It
because his
didn't.
stick was high.
It didn't though. It's off his body.
No, no, it's a good goal. They're already lined up.
Yeah.
All right, well, there's two. Are we
He's
gonna get
just in the
another
right
hat
place.
trick
That's
for
just
the
how it
guy?
is. He's in the right place at the right
Okay.
time, man.
Should we? So Nyes has played every game since then.
He's had decent
Um,
goals too.
nothing against Dallas, nothing against Ottawa. 3 goals against St. Louis, nothing against Philly. Not or no, sorry, against Anaheim. Then 2 goals and an assist, and then a goal against St. Louis.
That's
The guy's
McNuggets.
been there. The guy's been there.
I
So what?
after that sign, he's been on a roll, man. I'm just gonna say after he met
he's
us,
got
we had that little
he's got he's
conversation.
got he has 8 goals on the year, 6 of which have come against since the putting a note down his pants.
He after that, he's
Whoa.
he's my goat. There's no
That
way.
was nearly disgusting.
After that, like my rankings, Bobby McMahon just climbed up the rankings. After that, I was like, what a legend! I love this guy.
Did you
I don't see.
did you see what Matthews just did?
No, I've been too focused on this.
He flicked the puck up and like behind the back just batted it backhand, just missed the net. out of midair.
What am I missing right now?
Nasty.
We've
A
been getting
Matthews
sidetracked constantly.
masterclass. But yeah, so Bobby McMahon's the GOAT. We love him for that.
It was great. It was a great time, a great experience. You guys will see the clips. We'll put them in there. We'll put them in. But yeah, he's just been on a tear
I,
ever
I,
since he's met us.
I mean, I think what? Oh, where are they gonna score now? All right. But even what the weekend before that, All Star break.
Oh yeah, we were there too.
That was that. I mean,
We have a
I
whole
don't think
team
anyone's
too.
done it good. I don't think anyone's done as good as Toronto.
They've been on a roll. They've been on a roll. Honestly, since since
I, I'm
since
I'm
that
talking
Riley
about like
suspension, they've been on a roll.
I'm talking about how the city handled like the
Oh,
All Star game.
oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. I 100% agree. Like they honestly, like I think not no bias there. Like that skills competition, the All Star game, the way everything was just went down, I think was oh my god, I just saw the replay. But the
yeah,
way,
that's ridiculous.
wow,
The guy's just messing with people now.
oh my, if he scored that, that would have been crazy. But the way everything went down in the city, I just the way everything was set up, the way the skills competition, the new format they used, and so, like the Vegas one
Everything
was
worked.
terrible. The one last year, like out on the beach, like they're just adding way too much stuff. They went going in Toronto. They went back to the classics. Went back to started a new. They came up with a new format which I really liked, and it kind of like gave everyone the opportunity to kind of participate in everything. Where it was like Matthews only used to do like the shooting competition. Where in Vegas, him and Marner just did that freaking I don't know shooting the puck over the freaking Bellagio water fountain or whatever they did.
Oh,
Like
it was so
like they
stupid.
it kind of ruined the All Star game. But the way they handled it this year, they went back to the roots, and I loved it. I loved it, and the way the city like me and Nick we got to go to the fanfare. I mean, just the city was just buzzing. The city was buzzing. It was nice to see. Um, that fanfare was awesome. Nick got the opportunity to meet his Swedish heroes. I got the opportunity to kind of hear see Marner doing the gritty. I'll put that clip in too. You get to see Marner. We get to see Marner
Yeah.
doing the gritty.
So, so instead of, so when I first got there, I met up with some friends, and met Brock Besser. Very nice guy, by the way. Like such a
Yeah.
nice
Oh
dude.
yeah. You can
Um,
tell. He's been
and
through a lot too
then
in his career, man.
yeah,
He adds
and then
extra.
it came to what was it? We couldn't because we were in line for Besser. There wasn't enough time for us to get in for the Matthews and
Matthews and
Nylander
Nylander
Q&A.
Q&A, yeah.
But you ended up staying in line with our other friend.
Well,
Um,
I got there a little later, so I didn't even get to see the Besser. I didn't get to meet Besser. I got there around like 3 o'clock, and around that time, around like 2:50, the Matthews Q&A lineup was already filled. There was no opportunity to
yeah.
get in. I tried to sneak in, didn't work out. So me and Ala, we waited in the line for Marner and Riley. While you got to see who was it?
So we went for who? Oh, it was Darlene,
Yeah,
and
he split
then
up.
two of my other boys had then come to meet us. So the two of them waited in line because they wanted to see Clayton Keller because they had a separate line starting,
Yeah,
and then me and Anson waited for Darlene.
Sunday.
Um, and then after meeting Darlene, we joined their line to meet Keller. We'll say neither of them really were smiling.
Yeah,
I understand, they've been signing things for like an
yeah,
hour.
yeah. That's fair.
But
That's
so
fair.
yeah, I understand that. But like huge shout out to Besser and Elias Lindholm, who I ended up going the day after. I know you weren't there that day,
No.
but I ended up going the day after with our Canucks fan friend Anson because he wanted to meet him. And hey, as Luca mentioned earlier, I love my Swedish
He
players.
loves his Swedes over the
Uh,
Canadians.
yeah, so Lindholm like
Doesn't make sense,
took his
but
time, actually had a conversation with me. As Lucas said, I told him bring gold to Sweden, and I told him like how everyone makes fun of me because I cheer for Sweden over Canada, and we had a good laugh, and he told me it's awesome and stuff like that. But yeah, like huge shout out to the Canucks players there. Like
yeah,
you
they
could
were
tell
they
they
seem
were
like good
very
energy.
happy to be there.
Yeah, they had great energy.
Not to say other players weren't. It's just from my personal experience, that's what I noticed. But nothing against Keller and Darlene. You're there for an hour
Yeah,
signing. and hearing, "Hey, how's your day going?" So I can understand them not cracking a smile. But yeah, it's a really cool experience to be that close to like players you watch, and look up to.
Yeah, that's why it was so cool at the, for me at least, because I'm not a big fan of like other players like in the league other than Leaf players. I'm not much of a big fan, but um, that was why I love that practice getting in to meet those guys. But yeah, being in the Q&A with Marner and Riley was pretty cool. Spending some time there. Oh my God, the Leafs are gonna blow it. Leafs are gonna blow it.
Oh, wait, is it Keller?
Six
Who
point nine
just go?
seconds. 6.9 seconds left too. Just a big to my face. But yeah.
I think it was Keller. Me, wait,
No,
me
it
after.
was
Was it not?
no. Who's
Who
11?
was it? Is it Bustad?
No,
Who is that?
Gun. What's his last name? Who is this? You should have had that, Sammy. Who is that?
I don't know.
Nice shot. It was a nice shot, but Sammy was
Yeah.
out of position there. Gunther.
Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Wait, do they still have another power play?
What the hell,
Oh
Nylander?
my god. Yeah, Nylander got on the box for the hooking call.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right. So
It's gonna end
they're
up
gonna
being a
enter.
close game.
Yeah, 4-3 going to the third, and they'll have a minute 50 on the power play. All right.
What were we talking about? The All Star game.
All
Yeah.
Star.
Just a great weekend. City was buzzing. Even the bars. Let's talk about the bars. Let's talk about the bars in
Oh,
Toronto. Were
oh
buzzing
my.
too. What was it? The
That's
Thursday night of
weird.
the draft. I think Tate
So we
McRae
went
was.
and no, no, we didn't see Tate when we went
No, I
to
know, but she
Pizza
was
Wine.
like
Oh,
she was around Leroy, the kid Leroy.
yeah,
So the kid Leroy ended up being at this bar DJing at Pizza Wine. Um, I had a reservation, but I was in school all day, and I decided I'm gonna go
not
home,
to show up.
not to show up. And then me and Elle had decided together not to show up. Let's let Nick explain here what was going
So,
on that night. He actually got to experience the bar.
so it was. We get there. What? Our reservation was what for 10
Yeah,
or 9 something
it
something
was
like
10.
that.
It was 10.
So we get there, and we're told Leroy's coming at 10. No, no, our reservation was 9:30 because Leroy was coming at 10.
Yeah, Leroy's supposed to be there
So
at 10.
so uh one of my buddies from back home, uh Pickering, big Leroy guy. So he came downtown to meet up with us, and we went. So we got there. We're told 10. So get in mind, we get there at like 9:30, and we talk to security. We're like, okay, where's the best place to stand? So me and my buddy were standing kind of to the left of the stage, kind of where like the bar kitchen is, and because the security said like they'll walk right through here. And then our other friends are back, kind of by the bar, standing on like one of the tables. Leroy didn't show up till a little
He
bit
got the
past
pizza wine
one.
window.
Yeah,
That
so
was
we
tough.
were just standing there in like complete packed, you're shoulder to shoulder with everyone. There's nowhere to
Yeah,
move for 3 hours, and it was getting hot. And we're like, okay,
that
like
was
20 more
tough.
minutes, then we'll go. 20 more minutes, then we'll go. 20 more minutes. So we did this until about 1. Then all of a sudden, you just see Kid Leroy just being shoved by security through us, and Kid Leroy just walks right past
Casually
us,
walks through.
like right in front of us. You're right there. Um, my buddy nearly slapped him in the face because he's trying to like he's
Get a
trying to give him
picture.
like a high five.
Oh,
Yeah, so he nearly hit him in the face. But so yeah, Kid Leroy performs. But for the first like 30 minutes, he wasn't even DJing. He was just sitting by the side of the stage, just chilling,
just
having a
vibing.
drink, vibing. And we're like, hey, like this is we've already seen him in concert. I'm getting tired of just getting shoved around for 3 hours. So okay, let's go outside. So we go out and we're like, hey, it's whatever. Like he'll come back on tour, so no big deal. Um, so we left, and then that's when he ended up starting to DJ and actually perform his
Oh
songs.
damn.
But oh well, I don't.
It
I
wasn't
think
that
the
big. You
bar
didn't miss
closed
that
out.
much.
Yeah, no, the bar closed at like 2:30, and
Yeah,
he didn't
and it was
actually
a
start doing that
Thursday
until
night
one
too. It wasn't
forty.
even a Friday. We
Yeah,
were in school all
no.
day. Just
So we left, and then Friday we went to the fanfare.
Yep.
Then Saturday,
I also bailed on that night. That night too.
Yeah, so Luca bailed on Saturday too. We ended up going
I had some
to
family obligations. It was my cousin's
yeah,
birthday, and
yeah.
I kind of wanted to
Hey,
watch
good
the All Star
family.
game with my cousin, but it
Good
was
good family man.
yeah.
Okay.
I missed
So
out on some big things
went to,
here.
went to Paris, Texas. Now, I'm a big country music fan, so that was fine. Whether there was NHL players there or not, no big deal. But we get there, we're chilling, and then starts getting a bit busy. Turn around, and there's Tom Wilson just walking right behind you to his booth. Very nice dude, said, waved, but he's just chilling in the booth behind you.
I would have given him a shit for
And
that
then
series against the Leafs, eight
as
years
the
ago.
night progresses, I don't know if the hockey guys from TikTok, those guys, the ones who did the
Yeah, yeah.
Nylander podcast. Yeah, they were there. I had a conversation with them for like a minute or so. They're very nice people. They even recognized me later on in the night and said hi again. Like,
Damn.
very cool dudes. Um, but talking about players that we met, let me see if I can, because there was a few there was a
There was a
few.
bunch. You met Chicklets, no?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
I'm spoiling the show here. I'm ruining all of Nick's surprises, even beforehand.
Okay, so again, saw Lindholm in the bar. So instead of meeting him at the fanfare, got to see him in the actual bar, just
Oh, I didn't know
chilling.
he was there too.
Um, yeah, Lindholm was
Oh
there.
man,
He came at the same time the Chicklets did.
did you get to speak to him at
Bit
the
I
bar?
will. Yeah, I said hi.
Oh my
That's
god.
all. But I didn't like. I wasn't.
Yeah, I love him to
Again,
enjoy.
preface. Did never asked for a picture or anything. They're out drinking and stuff. I don't want to bug them. Have a good time.
Yeah.
I said hey, what's up and all that kind of stuff, but nothing like that. Um, Jeremy Swayman was chilling behind us too in a
Oh
booth.
my god.
Um, who else
Having
did
an
we
unreal
see?
season too.
Oh my. Okay, there's so many more players that I've.
Boone Jenner.
Oh, Boone Jenner. Yeah, Boone Jenner was there. Um. Oh my. Okay, and then obviously Chicklets show up. Oh, Connor McDavid's brother was there. I know Connor McDavid's brother was there.
McDavid's brother.
And we are pretty certain Klingberg was there too. Like the guy looked
Oh
identical
yeah.
to Klingberg,
Oh my
and he
god.
was he was kind of like in and out very quick. It was 100% Klingberg. Um, but yeah,
It was
Chicklets
obvious
walk
though.
in. No biz, but Ra was there. Witt was there. Um,
That's hilarious.
Merles was there, and it was just
What's
they just
RA
walked
doing at Paris,
and
Texas with
yeah.
his age?
But Witt is so much bigger in person than you'd think.
Oh, you could tell. You could tell. Just the enforcer bod.
Oh, I'm trying to see if I can find exactly who was there.
I'm pretty sure all I remember is Boone, Lindholm, the Chicklets. I remember the McDavid's brother. That was funny. You
McDavid's
guys arguing
brothers, that
about
was
how
hilarious.
McDavid had a point because
One of the
they look
people we were
similar.
with goes, wait, is that Connor McDavid? We're like, no, that's his brother.
That's McDavid's brother.
Oh, where would I swear we talked about it in one of our chats about who was there.
I can't remember. We have to go. You have to go a long time for that.
When was that?
That was 2 weeks ago. It was the week of the. It was like February 3rd weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, um, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. So the other kind of big person there was, and I'm not a big fan, was Johnny Orlando. Not a hockey guy.
Oh
So
wait.
no.
Tate McRae. Tate McRae. I didn't
Okay, yeah,
catch
I was
that.
I was getting there. So after we left, because we were told, oh, Loud Luxury was also there. They were DJing
Oh
that night.
yeah.
So we got to say hi to Loud Luxury. That was pretty cool. But yeah, so we left because we left what around 2ish, and we were chilling outside for like 40 minutes too. It took about 20 minutes to get from one end of the bar to the other where
Oh,
the
I can
door was,
imagine. Can imagine.
because
Been there before.
I
Seen
don't
it
think
before.
I don't think they had a capacity limit, because you were just
Yeah.
getting, if someone had to walk past you, you were just getting bounced around. It was
Yeah. That place.
and
That place. The way
you
it's set
you
up to
could
is so narrow. It's like, it's impossible
yeah.
on a normal night to walk around in that place.
So you couldn't really go to the bar. So I didn't actually have a drink for quite a while, because I didn't. If you went to the bar, it was going to take you another hour
Yeah.
to get it. drink from the bar,
You got a
and then to
pre.
try and go back to your spot. Yeah. So we all kind of got tired of just being shoved around, so we went outside and we were just chilling for a bit. So we ended up leaving. Anyways, next day we open up
TikTok.
TikTok and we see Tate McRae and Kid Leroy were just they could have easily been there when we were there,
There's just so
and
much
we would not have
people.
noticed.
Yeah.
There were so many people, and they were kind of in the back left corner of the stage, and we were kind of center where the stage was, so you couldn't really see that corner. But yeah, the involved was Tate McRae and Kid Leroy just chilling there, which was just sick. It would have been awesome
Thank
to
God.
meet them, but
I don't know what I would say to Tate McRae if I ever saw that woman. She's an icon. She's beautiful.
I
So
Beebs was the guy I wanted to meet, but he didn't
yeah.
end up showing
See,
up.
let me give you my perspective on what happened the Thursday night when you guys went to the Kid Leroy concert. So my whole thing was I was debating whether to go or not. I was downtown from 8 a.m. till like we had a meeting. It was like 9, 10 o'clock. I was there all day, exhausted.
Yeah.
Like had like clubbing clothes kind of, but like it was like I don't know what to do with my school bag. Like I don't know. I don't feel like really going to a club and like I had a feeling like the Kid Leroy was just gonna like show up later. So I was like realistically I would be downtown from like 8 a.m. to like 12, like what like probably like 1, 2 a.m. I was like I don't know if I have it in me. But the one thing I was like
And then you would have had to go back to Vaughn.
yeah
Let's
back and that's for
yeah.
another like 50 minutes, another hour. So I wouldn't go home till like 3 a.m. It would hey, but the only one thing I was like, it would have been worth it to do if Beebs or Matthews or Big Poppy showed up at the bar. And I was like, I told everyone, I was like, if they show up and I like I can't live with regrets. I have FOMO. I would probably kill myself. So me and Alessia like we're going home and we're texting like the entire like subway ride. Like she was like, "Oh man, like if Beebs is like, what should we do? What should we do? Do you think Beebs is gonna show up?" I'm like, "Let's go home. If we get like any inkling of Beebs showing up, we're subwaying back down." All of a sudden, like I'm basically like 3 stops from my house. I get Alessia text me. She's like, "My friend works at Paris, Texas. She's saying like, no, sorry, not Paris, Texas, Pizza Wine. She's like, Beebs is showing up. She was told Beebs is showing up. There's like a good chance Beebs is showing up. The security set it up for Beebs. I was like, oh my god, if that means if Beebs is showing up, that means Poppy's there. I was like, I gotta haul my ass. We gotta haul our ass back downtown. And she's like, I don't know, like I don't know if it's worth it. I'm like, oh, we were both like debating. We're debating. Like, if we show up and Beebs isn't there, we just wasted like another 2 hours. Like, we gotta know for sure Beebs is there. So I'm texting Nick. I'm texting, texting everyone. Like, you gotta let me know if is Beebs showing up. Is Beebs showing up? I get home. I change. I go on TikTok. I see Beebs doing a concert at
History.
History. I was like, Ale, this is the best decision we've ever made. Beebs didn't show up.
Yeah.
The Kid Leroy doesn't show up till
Was
like
it's
1
three
a.m.
it was 3 hours late. Yeah. So
So I mean,
Beebs
but
had a
from my
private
perspective, I
show.
was for a certain point, I was like losing my mind, like thinking I made the worst decision of my life, and it paid off. It was a gamble, but it paid off. It paid off for sure.
They I mean, as much as it wasn't probably the greatest experience, having us just wait and wait and wait.
I mean,
It
you
was
saw a lot of your friends.
it was fun. Like
Yeah,
honestly, we were with friends, and
yeah.
it's All-Star Weekend. Like it's kind of like, the unexpectedness of it was what made it kind of fun. Like Toronto did it right. I don't think any city
Toronto
does
was
it like Toronto.
buzzing. Like you can like even in school, like the week before, like taking the subway on Union, the Stanley Cup is just in the middle of Union Station with all the
Yeah.
homeless people around everybody. I don't know why they decided that would be a good idea, but hey, it made the city buzz. Buble was buzzing. Like it didn't matter. Like there were so many people in the city. There's so many celebrities in the city. It was like, yeah, you saw those celebrities at Paris, Texas. There was like so many other bars that all these people were at too. Like I'm sure McDavid was at some secret bar, probably Harbor 60. Like Matthews was out. Like I don't know.
Well, a lot of
Everyone
them
has a
went
story that
to
night. It
like
was such
what?
a buzzing city.
Wasn't Bieber and Leroy and Tate all at dinner? And
Yes. Yeah. They went to dinner.
where was it? I forget the name of
It
the
was somewhere.
restaurant,
It was
but
somewhere. It was more on Yorkville. I think their
yeah,
hotel was
it
more
was
on
Yorkville
Yorkville.
side.
Yeah, because they were just in the nicer area of the city, the more richer, more.
But that was the thing. Like you can walk down the street and you were seeing,
Yeah, it's
whether it be guys like Coach Chippy or guys like, I don't know, like any of the Chicklets guys
they were
or
at
any
King
like crazy
Tums.
NHL player.
Like
Like you walk down Toronto during that week and there was a good chance you were seeing someone cool.
Yeah, no, the city was honestly like that was probably one of the best weekends like to go out. Just being in there, like just the vibe of the city was just it was just all vibes. It was nice. It was beautiful to see. Like it was good for our city. I would say like being in Toronto all that time. It was nice. It was beautiful. I hope we do something like that again. Because it was cool. Like even hotels like there's so many opportunities to meet your like favorite stars, your favorite players. It was just like for people like us like big any hockey fans, it was heaven. It was a heavenly
Yeah,
time.
I mean, hockey and Toronto just go together.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
it's a match.
yeah. All right. I don't know what else. What else do we got? I think should we wrap it
What
up?
a I mean, there's one thing, that I
One
know you're
last
very excited about. It's coming next season.
one last
I
thing.
think this thing
We could touch
is
on it.
Mr. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari.
Oh yeah.
I think we all know Max is winning it again this year. I think it's inevitable.
With
Come on,
Rotor,
I
with what's going on with Rotor, I don't know. Or
I don't
Rotor,
know.
or
Hey, the Christian Horner stuff is definitely a distraction,
yeah,
but you have a car built by Adrian Newey. You have
yeah,
Helmut Marko up there, and as much as Christian plays a big role into the team, there are guys who and girls who have been around him who can do what he's done. Definitely has a good relationship with Max, but not every job lasts forever. So whatever is the outcome of that, I think they'll figure it out. That car is built to win. So as long as they don't have Ferrari strategists, they're fine.
stealing it. Yeah. I mean, that's the one. The last few seasons, it's like Max is Max. He's great. I'm not his biggest fan. Nick knows. I think he's a scum. Um, but one thing I gotta say is he's a great driver. Like there's no debate about that at all. He's a great driver, and one thing that's kind of propelled him is like that car is just so superior to every other car in the league. It's like
Yeah.
Ferrari can't figure it out. Mercedes has come close in certain races, but to be that efficient and that successful all season long, no. It's like there's glimpses of like cars like kind of meeting their level for certain races. Like there's times where Mercedes was like this year where
McLaren,
McLaren had a big come up this year, right, with their car.
Aston Martin started
Yeah,
last season
yeah, they
very
started
well, and
off
then they
amazing
fell
and kind
off.
of fell off. Yeah, like
It's
there's been
it's
glimpses, but there hasn't been a car that's been consistently as good as Red Bull all season long for the
but
last.
it's also got to be said. You know, yes, it's the car, but a lot of it's Max too. Because
Yeah,
you look at a guy like Lewis, for example, too. Yes, when he was with Mercedes and he was winning all the championships, dominant car, no doubt about it. But Bottas and Nico had the same car, but
yeah,
he
no one can.
showed,
It's the same
you
with
know,
Perez. It's like
you can't, as much as, people want to say the car is part of winning, obviously, there's no doubt about that,
for
you
sure,
know?
for sure.
Like, you can't win with a bad car. But you have to go out there and drive that car. You have to go there week in and week out, race after race, training, and minimizing mistakes. You can't make mistakes. And, you know, I've been watching since 2015,
Yeah,
and Nico Rosberg was my guy. And after he won and retired, it was always he said that was the toughest year to beat Hamilton. He said he couldn't care about his family life, couldn't care about anything except for F1 because the pressure Lewis puts on you to beat him. You can't
can't
make a
beat him.
single mistake.
Yeah,
You can't. You're not. And I think that's the same thing with what we're seeing with Max now.
for
It,
sure.
it's just
When you
it's
have
just
Lewis
dominance.
in the league with Max, and Lewis is having like struggling to beat like I don't he hasn't beat him this season and last season. I don't think did Lewis
He
beat him
hasn't won
this
a
season.
race in 2 years, right?
Yeah, it's like and it's not because Lewis is a bad driver. It's just
No.
Max is so dominant. That car is built for Max. But here's one thing I
Yeah.
gotta say. I'm ecstatic about this Lewis to Ferrari
I,
move.
I, you can't be an F1 fan if you're not happy about this move.
No,
As much as I'm a Red Bull guy,
this
you
is
know,
it. Just
for
feels right.
for
There's something about this feeling.
Ferrari, racing Ferrari is just
It's a
it's a
great.
prestige,
I'm
like
I'm
what
Italian. I'm biased, but Ferrari's always
Seb-
been my thing.
Seb- Sebastian Vettel, who has raced for Red Bull,
Yeah.
he's raced for Aston Martin. Even when he was with Ferrari, he said, no matter who you support, you always have that red in you. You are always
Yeah.
a Ferrari fan.
Yeah.
And
You're
I
just
think
the
that's
team.
true. When Ferrari is good in F1, that's good for F1
Yeah.
because it
100%.
just Ferrari and Formula One are just you look at the greatest F1 drivers of all time. All of them have had ties. Schumacher's had the tie with Ferrari.
Yeah.
Vettel's had the ties with Ferrari. It was kind of inevitable Hamilton would be there eventually. Did I expect it to happen this early?
No.
No. That
No.
when
It
I
came out
woke
of
up that
nowhere.
morning, I was shocked.
It came out of nowhere. I mean, we tried to film this. We tried to set this up a little closer to the date of the news, but we're a little bit behind. But man, I was ecstatic. It's here's one thing. I think it's gonna put a lot of pressure now on Ferrari this season, and I think they know that this season is almost like it's not exactly a write off, but I feel like all the eggs are being put into the basket of next year. They're, Ferrari this season is gonna be like, how do we get our car next year to be superior? How do we get this car to be competing with Max race to race, not just certain races based off of the track? How can we get this car to be superior to Max? And I feel like in the pitches to Lewis, that was what Ferrari was saying, was like, we're putting all of our efforts into getting this car as good as Red Bull's, putting you in a position where it's like you can dominate like you used to be with Mercedes, um, now with our team in Ferrari, and and like if that's the case, if we're gonna get like Ferrari versus Red Bull every race, I think it's gonna be like, I'm not gonna lie, F1's entertaining, but when you're seeing Max just win every race, it's
Yeah,
like you're
it's
looking forward to the weekend just to see like the 10th places fighting each other, like who's gonna get second, who's gonna get third. You're not really, you
yeah.
already know in your head who's winning the race. It's like if we're gonna finally get to see a battle for first place every race, count me in. Like it's gonna be like amazing to see, and I hope that's the case. And I feel like that's where it's gonna get to. It's gonna be a good thing
See,
for this team.
the only thing now is, and Max is the one who said it because they interviewed him about it after the Lewis move. He said he thinks there were going to be leaks, and that's why they announced it so early on rather than waiting until the towards the end of the season.
Uh huh.
So now that it's out, how does this change the dynamic with Science now? Like, is he going to start playing that team game, or is he going to be more selfish and try and prove like he's still there, he's still a very good driver, and to a team next year?
Oh, there we go. Oh
Nylander
my god.
just sniped
Oh
it.
my god.
So there we go, right out the penalty box.
Holy Styles, man. Oh my god. I should have put on it. Oh, God. I just like I need to see this goal before we continue.
Yeah, we can. It was a snipe.
Right out of the box, it was perfect timing. Oh my god.
Oh, the shot
Like,
was
you
beautiful.
feel honestly like watching the Leafs. It's like I feel bad sometimes for the goaltending that they have to face. It's like you got Matthews with an unstoppable shot. You got Nylander who's just been every year just his shot keeps getting better and better and better and better. It's like God, like I feel for these goalies. Like that guy had no chance to save that. Zero chance. Zero opportunity.
What is what is that for Nylander goal wise?
I don't know, man. Ah, oh, that's his thirty
That
first.
would be
That's his thirty
yeah,
first.
thirty
That's his
first.
31st. I knew he was in the thirties. What a season! What a season for the guy. Let's get back. Let's get back on the F1 track. But
Wait, is this? Oh no, he had a 40 goal last season. Okay,
where were we just at?
it's the dynamic with Science now.
Oh, um, it's F1. The dynamic with the drivers every year is like, I want to be the best. I want to be driver one. I want to win the race. You see it. You see it with Max and Perez. You see it. You saw it this year with like freaking one. I can't remember what track it was, but Leclerc and Sainz are already battling each other one time,
Oh yeah,
and it fucked up. It fucked them up that race. It was. I think this year is gonna be just like that, and it's gonna be worse. Sainz is he.
yeah.
Does he have a placement? Has he been assigned
There's
to a
there's
team?
always been rumors since they announced that Audi was entering the league that Audi wants him as their
That's not
number
till
one
twenty
driver.
twenty six.
Yeah, so that's the only thing, right?
Yeah.
It's what happens. I mean, personally for me, dream scenario
Red Bull.
would be Red Bull. He is a Red Bull Academy driver. Him
I
and
could see
Max
it for a
both
year.
started,
I could see it for a
you
year.
know. They started out together in Toro Rosso.
They
So
did, yeah.
if they can, I would love to see them together again. I think that'd be a very good driver lineup, and I do think Sainz.
He's a great
I'm
driver.
not gonna, I'm not gonna say he's a better driver than Leclerc. I think he shows a bit more consistency than Leclerc.
I
I
agree.
think
I agree
Leclerc,
last year, for sure. Last season, I saw that.
yeah, that's it. That's it. I think he's more consistent than Leclerc. I do think Leclerc is the better driver and more likely to win an F1 championship, but he needs to work on the consistency. He makes too many mistakes.
I don't know what it was last year. Definitely, I agree with you. Sainz for me was the better driver, just the more consistent driver. And I like Sainz, man. Like it's I'm not happy to
It's
see
better
him
to it's
go.
bittersweet. You're
It is
getting
bittersweet. Like I'm not happy to see him go, obviously, but it's like we're getting
you're
Lewis.
never gonna say no to the greatest
Yeah,
F1
like
driver of all time.
I we're getting Lewis. That like even if Lewis like I hope he does well for Ferrari, but just to see that guy in the red for me is like it's 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 enough. Like it's not enough. It's obviously not, I want to see Ferrari win. I want to see him dominate, but it's like it
I
makes
want
me happy.
I don't want to see him win the eighth, just because I want to see Max keep
Yeah, you're a
dominating.
Max guy, right? Obviously, but
But
for me, I want to see
but
him dominate
like
Ferrari. But
like part of me wants him to win the eighth just to silence any doubt that Schumacher's better. I don't think Schumacher's better. I think Lewis is the greatest of all time, and I won't change that for now
until your boy,
Until Max. But I mean, to see Lewis win, when was the last time we've seen Ferrari win?
I think it's been since has it been since Schumacher or Vettel? It's been since Vettel.
Yeah, no, did Vettel never won with them? He won
No,
always with
every race was pretty competitive though that one season.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. When was the last time?
I don't know.
It would have
I'm kind
been
of new to this, guys, so don't.
2007. Who won it in 2007? Oh, Kimi Räikkönen.
So it's been due
And
time.
and their last constructors was 2008 with Räikkönen and Felipe Massa. So it's been a
It's
while.
been a while. I don't even
Yeah.
I don't even know those names just because I was like 5 and I was more into watching the Leafs every Saturday and playing with the Ferrari cars and watching the Formula One races. Um,
Yeah, so I don't know. I do, like I said, like it's better when Ferrari's good. It's better for the sport. So, you know,
I just really want to see
Lewis on a podium again. He deserves it.
yeah, I'm listen, I want to see Ferrari win. They're my team, but more than that, like I'm watching every weekend. I want to see more competitive, like
Yeah.
more of a fight for first. I don't want to see Max having 20-second leads like by the third lap of
No.
the race. It's like it's. I want to see like a fight for first place. I want to see some like I for me. I want to see Max have to like prove himself, prove that he's a
Which
good driver.
I think he has.
No, I
He's
think he has
shown.
too, but I want to see it in like a race. Like I
You
want
want, yeah.
like I want to see which he has he's had that happen like um
The first
yeah
championship he won, but
yeah
again, there was marks on that one. Um,
yeah you're
but
right.
I don't.
But I want to
Oh,
see it back to like that competitive like like see I want to see Max lose some races. I want to see him win some races. I want to see like just a
I
fight for
want to
first every weekend.
like that the his second championship where Leclerc started off very well in the season. Like
Yes,
when they were battling, that's what I
yeah,
want to see.
yeah. But
You know,
then it kind of veered off
fizzled
towards
because
this season, fizzled
yeah.
out. But I want to see that consistently this season, and I think even
I don't know if we'll see it this season. I hope we do.
no, I don't think so either. I think Ferrari's putting their eggs in that building that car for that for the new 2026 when the electric when they start changing the cars a little bit.
Yeah,
And the season before that with Lewis. I think part of their pitch was listen, we're building you a car and
yeah.
it's
I
going to be
think
as
they.
competitive as Red Bull. So I think this season is kind of like all their engineering is focused more on that the season after than it is this year,
Yeah, and I think
which is
that's a
fine.
good
I'll
point
take
because
another year of Max dominance for me
it
to see
came to
some
a point.
competitive
It came
F1
to a
with
point
Ferrari.
last season where we would see Max off the line, and it show him for the first lap,
Yeah,
and then it would show him for the last lap, and we'd see
that's
nothing
it.
in
That's all
between.
you see. Like it's like now
Yeah,
then you're seeing Lando and Leclerc fighting, or at the beginning it was
yeah. And it was so
Wow.
exciting to see
So
that.
yeah, that's what's fun about racing is like you want to see like every lap, every turn. You want to see like people fighting for positions, fight like
And
that's what's fun.
and and you want to see a guy like Max fighting because he is so
Yeah,
skilled, and you want to see
yeah.
that.
Like I don't want to
Like
see anyone else but Max fighting because it's like, well, I mean, you do, but that one is just 10 times more interesting. It's like the best drivers fighting for the podium.
if you can give me a race where you're seeing Max, Lewis, Charles, Lando, Piastri all fighting for that like podium, that's just what you want.
Yeah,
Like it's
I agree.
I do hope that happens within the next 2 years because I do think they're gonna run into a problem if it's not.
I think I'm confident that it will. Like, I mean, it could not happen, but I think like let's see what happens this year with Horner off of Red Bull. Like, I don't think it's gonna affect them much, but maybe the year after when that car isn't when there's competitiveness, like when they're competing with Ferrari, if Ferrari does make a car, if there's a car similar in dominance wise to Red Bulls, now
Yeah,
you don't have that the guy in charge that
has
um,
been there for so long.
yeah, uh, it might then like I think that definitely not next year. I'm not that confident in next year in Ferrari and other teams kind of fighting Red Bull, but the year after I think we might see some good racing. It's not like it's been
Yeah.
bad racing, but some competitive racing like how it's
I
been
think
before.
more so. I think more so just battling up at the front rather than
Yeah,
from third onwards.
that's what people want to see. That's what people want to
Yeah,
see. That's entertaining to me.
yeah. I think that's entertaining for everyone.
Yeah,
You know,
hundred
there was a
percent.
lot of races where I was just like, okay, like nothing's happening here.
Yeah, yeah. That a lot of that. There was one race I think we were when we were at
Oh,
well
oh
I think
yeah, when
Ferrari
we
won
were
that
at
race. Yeah, yeah. That one I can't remember what happened. Um, what happened
was
that
that the one?
race?
Was that the one science one?
Yes, it was a one science one. I was so happy that day. I was like, finally, I got to see Ferrari on podium, but on
It
pole.
was the Singapore Grand Prix.
I don't remember what happened. How Max lost that race. Did he? I can't
Max
remember.
finished fifth.
I don't think he started in pole.
No, what happened that race?
I don't think he started pole.
Um.
It was a fight between Sainz and Perez. I think right. It
Oh,
was McLaren and Ferrari.
Max started in 11th. I
Yeah.
forget. He didn't make it out of Q2. I think there was something happened. That was it the engine that went off or something happened. I can't remember
That
exactly.
the past like season and 2 seasons like that's the only way you wouldn't see Max win. It was when he didn't get pole, when he was having to start from like 10th place, 11th place, beyond that, and even then, he's won races. It's like when he has to defy odds, he still does, but those are the only races where it was like, okay, you finally see someone else on top. When there's something like that happened in qualifying where you didn't get top three. Um, but I want to see like I think finally we're gonna get to see something different.
Oh, it was Red Bull's setup. Just it was their both their drivers didn't make it to Q3, so they just had a bad
They just had a
setup for
bad
that.
setup. Yeah, that's the only time. Like I said, that's the only time another team would get pole or not pole, would get podium, get first. Um, but hopefully in the next not maybe next year, not this year. Then when I come
Yeah,
back, we'll see something different. We'll see some other places. We'll hear another anthem other than the Dutch anthem every fucking 2 3
the
minutes.
new Formula One anthem.
Oh my god.
Oh. But yeah, I think that's a good way to end off.
I think so too. I think so too. Hey, this was a very successful first podcast. I
Yeah,
think we had so much to
we're
talk about.
so much to talk
I
about.
don't
We're
even know
still
how
learning
long
the
this is.
organization.
Yeah, I don't know how long. I don't know how long this went, but next time we'll be a little more organized.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you know what?
it
It's
was
a
good
Blue
combo.
Blue podcast. It's dysfunctional like the Leafs team.
Just like and like me too. I'm a pretty dysfunctional guy. But listen, Dave, if you if you somehow got through this 2.5 hours, what I just missed before we
The
end,
Bears just sniped it. You
I missed
just
this whole Leaf
sniped
game
it.
for this podcast. I'm committed. I'm committed to you, Dave Portnoy.
Bro, you gotta see this goal. He sniped it. Right as you're outroing too.
Let's see.
Oh.
Nylander's been. Oh my. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that was Robbie who made that pass.
yeah.
Oh, no chance. Wow. Wow. I missed a good game. I mean, I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, but I gotta watch the highlights. I
Yeah.
think hopefully my dad recorded it. I can watch the whole game. Um, but yeah, Dave. Let's outro. Let's get this outro done. Hopefully, the Leafs don't score another one. If you somehow got to this 2.5 hours, Barstool Canada needs to happen. But yeah, this is
It
episode
needs to
one.
happen.
This was episode one. It was pretty successful on our journey, on my journey, to getting Barstool Canada to come talking for Barstool. But no, I'm glad we finally got this done, Nick. It went well.
It was a long time coming.
Thanks for showing up, man, and doing this with me.
No problem. It was an honor to be here.
You'll be a guest. I don't know
Yeah.
when the next one will be, guys. I don't have a schedule yet. I think when there's some good, maybe around trade deadline. We could do an NHL, and it might be it'll be a little shorter because we could just talk about that. But Nick
Yeah,
will be back.
we'll have structure. You'll get your structure.
It'll be structured. Nick will be back. I think Nick carried today, in my opinion. Nick was on fire tonight.
Nah. It was team. It was
He
teamwork.
was good at making those combos happen. But yeah,
Oh.
let's end it here. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor to be here, and I look forward to hearing more.